All right, everybody, another frustrating loss. The Giants bats were left back in San Francisco before the All-Star break as they get completely dominated tonight, 7-0. Well, they get 3 hits tonight, Rye?
Yeah, I mean, it was disgusting. And honestly, I felt like kind of I forgot that Rockman's also look at Larry's gonna be here in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, Larry will be here any minute. We didn't want to keep you guys waiting in the chat any longer. We saw that we were scheduled to go at quarter of the hour, and we're just running a few minutes behind. We had some things to take care of business wise, but
yeah, some business.
Come on, Giants! You got. I mean, I was. I've seen in the chat, and I think I've got to pull it up here. Somehow I've got, let me get.
Dan, do you have chat access?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, sweet. So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I felt like it was a horrible decision at the time, and we can all play Captain Hindsight, but in my mind, I was like, Junis looks fine. Junis looks good. Like, and he had 61, 62 pitches?
62. And I don't know if he was on some pitch count.
Yeah.
Or not.
No, it's really unfortunate because, I'm not going to blame Joey Bart for missing. It was kind of a just weird play, like the one he missed behind the plate.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, if Bart catches that, that's 2 outs.
Yeah, well, that would have been
they would have got move over to
outs,
second.
Yeah.
He does move over to second, and then
trying to find Romo's comment here because he made a donation, and I'm trying to find it in here. I think I saw it earlier before we went live.
I got you.
He said fire Kapler for $2, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, I got it. 1, 2,
and
boom, there
find
it
it. There it is. All right. Hey, Larry.
Hello.
Hey,
how you guys doing? Sorry,
good,
I'm a minute or two late for this extravaganza.
No,
two minutes and 10 seconds late to my own show. Never a good thing.
Yeah. Well, we understand there's some business things to take care of and everything, but we were just commenting at the Giants. I said they left their bats in San Francisco before the break. I mean, this is
totally dead, totally and utterly dead tonight. It's crazy.
There was a couple moments like when Luis Gonzalez got that double. I thought they were going to
first hit. That was the 6th inning.
First hit.
Yeah.
And then
I got first base runner for the Giants.
How about that? How about those commercials? Want to get away? You've seen those commercials. Want to get away?
Yeah.
How about Luis Gonzalez getting picked off first base, down 5-0 or 7-0 in the 8th to end the 8th? He got picked on first base.
Oh my God! I must have cut out for a little bit. I figured it was over.
Oh my! Did you see that? Oh, he got picked off first base, down 5 runs. Or was it 7-0 or 5-0 at that point? Unbelievable game for the Giants.
Goodness.
The Giants look just so dead offensively. I don't know where they go from here. There was a lot of talk about
my face.
What's that?
It looks similar to my face. At this point, chemically burned. I don't know what I'm going to do about this thing at camp. Like, seriously.
Yeah, seriously. Training camp is going to be, a challenge. It's going to be a major challenge for the sunburn. But yeah, I mean, frustrating game for the Giants. I mean, 7-0. They get out here 11-3. And it's funny because there were people pointing to this Diamondback series like, oh, you know what? They're going to get fat on the Diamondbacks and the Cubs.
I just watched the Diamondbacks post-game show, and they are fired up. They came out really angry, the announcers were saying tonight, because they felt like they should have swept the Nationals yesterday, and they lost 4-3. And they came out with a purpose. And this is a team going nowhere, but it's a young, exciting team.
It is a young team. It really is a young team. I mean, then there's several of their players, Danny, that I really like.
Oh, I love that. Alek Thomas.
I like him. I like Josh Rojas, the third baseman. I mean, he's a hell of a player.
He's got some food, man.
Dalton Varsho, Jake McCarthy, Carson Kelly, Perdomo. I mean, they've got some guys. Not to mention, I'm a big Pavin Smith fan. Merrill Kelly was outstanding tonight. To me, he was painting corners. He had great command. 8 innings, 3 hits, didn't walk a single guy, struck out 7, 99 pitches, 61 strikes. He was totally dominant. And I'll tell you, for the Giants, not only are they struggling on the at the plate, they're struggling badly at the plate. What did they produce tonight? 3 hits, 2 singles, and a Luis Gonzalez double. That was it. A single by Jock Peterson, a single by
a bunt.
Yeah, a single by Gonzalez, and a double by Gonzalez. That was it. That was it. The Giants, you'd say, well, they had a rough night with runners in scoring position. No, they went 0 for 2. They only had 2 runners in scoring position. The Diamondbacks, you know what the Diamondbacks had? The Diamondbacks went 5 for 17 with runners in scoring position. Think about that. The differential in the 2 teams in runners. The Diamondbacks got 15 more guys in scoring position than the Giants did. The Giants left 1 on base. The Diamondbacks left 10 on base. I mean, it's just Arizona's got life. They got energy. They got youth. They've started their rebuild, and they're building the thing back up, and they got all kinds of juice.
Yeah, and how many guys do the Diamondbacks have that are 33, 34 plus and old? I don't know how old Peralta is, but he's probably their oldest player.
Oh, they don't have any veteran players.
Exactly.
And then the Giants got a nice start out of Junis. He went 4 1/3. He gave up 3 hits in the 1 run.
I was just saying, why pull him there? If Bart makes that catch,
they're trying to build his arm strength. Was the answer?
Okay.
It was his first start off the injured list. He had 62 pitches. They're trying to build his arm strength. But the bigger problem is that they DFA'd McGee. Alvarez is hurt. So now they need, Harleen Garcia to really pitch well, and he's gone in the tank. He threw 8 pitches, 3 of them were strikes. He walked 1, gave up an earned run, gave up 2 hits. If Garcia doesn't do the job, and then you got Sam Long, who's really struggling right now as far as, Sam Long lefties are destroying Sam Long. So what do you got in the pen? You got Brebbia, you got Leone, Santos. We got a chance to see him tonight, and he throws 100. But another guy who throws 100, but doesn't look like he has confidence to throw it. He throws a ton of sliders.
Yeah, Duvall's the other guy. So it's interesting though. But we got Frisco Willie donates $1.99 here, and he says have to sell, right? 5 games out of last place. Yeah, the Giants are 17 out, and the Rockies are just 5 behind them, 22 out.
All right, here's the question. Here's the question on that, Danny. Do you sell? I mean, like right now, if there wasn't the Dodgers obviously lead the division. Giants are 17 back of the Dodgers, but it's all about the wild card. So if you go to the wild card standings in the National League, you see that the top wild card right now is the Braves. And they get a 6.5 game lead on the Padres for the top spot. Then the Padres have a 2.5 game lead on the Cardinals for that second wild card spot. The Cardinals are now in the driver's seat for the third wild card spot. Phillies are only a half game behind the Cardinals, and they just got swept by the Cubs. And then you get the Giants, 48-48, exactly 500, 2.5 games behind the Cardinals for that wild card spot. So, it's really interesting. If the Giants, if you eliminated that third wild card, if it was last year, for example,
they're done.
The Giants would be 5 games out of the wild card and 2 teams in front of them, and they would be pretty buried. But instead, because they added a wild card team in both the National and the American League, there is 1 team between them. It's just Philly and the Cardinals, and they're only 2.5 behind the Cardinals.
They could turn it around if they made some decent deals and didn't have to give up a ton to go get, say, a Laureano, get a left-handed.
Well, that was a Ken Rosenthal thing. What did you think of that? That was Ken Rosenthal from the Athletic guys wrote a whole breakdown that Danny sent me last night after the show on the trade market. And one of the trade targets, it sounds like, is of the Giants. Farhan said repeatedly that he'd love to make a trade with Billy Beane. This maybe is the year that we'll see that actually come to fruition, because the A's are clearly in sell mode and Farhan's clearly in buy mode. And I don't know if he should be, but he is. And maybe Ramon Laureano in a lot of ways could be exactly what the Giants need. But man, I'd hate to trade like a Luis Matos to get him. It sounds like, I would not be shocked at all if that were the price tag. If I'd rather trade somebody like Hunter Bishop or, somebody who's not doing, I guess Matos is not doing great, but I really think I've got a lot of hope for Matos. Yeah, Patrick Bailey and maybe somebody on your current roster. I don't know. But I will say this. I think it's pretty clear that the Giants made a mistake when they got rid of Steven Duggar.
It sure looks that way now. Did you see my tweet that I put out with
No.
I think I tagged you guys.
Yeah, I saw that. You said that you like Slater as an outfielder, as a right fielder, but not as a center fielder. I mean,
and I put the video of him dropping the ball tonight. That was just a routine catch for any center fielder. That is
like, have you ever, I mean, it's been a while since I've really felt like, when just an average fly ball goes to the outfield now, I have no idea if they're going to, like, I'm worried for Jock Peterson when he's, getting back there. I'm worried. I see Joey Bart miss that. I'm not going to put too much on that. It was kind of a tough catch, but I just don't know. I can't trust anybody. And how about this, guys, about, when the Giants still were going good, maybe they were 7 games above 500, we did a breakdown and we were like, we were kind of like trying to figure out this team, how are they winning? And if you could say, like, what is their one strength? What is it? And I believe we all three said their bullpen depth. Well, that's no longer the case. They are now if they were a 5-tool team or a 5-tool player, whatever, pitching, relief pitching, power, fielding, like they're just a minus in every category.
Ooh, we got to get to the chat here. We got lots of
we got lots of people donating here. We got Vicky Boone donates $2, and Vicky says this team is crap. I'm tired of watching this.
I agree.
She probably didn't say it that way. She probably said it in a much nicer way, but that's what she said. She said this team is crap.
How do you think she really said it?
I think she probably channeled her inner Larry Krueger and said it exactly the way I said it. This team is crap. They're crap. I'm tired of watching.
You think she got really emotional and got into it? Maybe had somebody else alongside her and shared with, or is she just sharing with us?
No.
Vicky, tell us how you really
Vicky is frustrated. This team is crap. I'm sick of watching this.
And we are with you, Vicky. Yeah. I didn't even see.
MF donates $4.99. He says Jake McCarthy looked really good tonight. Didn't really believe Larry that he was a good player, but he can play. I suggested the Giants trade for Jake McCarthy and Pavin Smith a month or two ago, and I think McCarthy might have been farmed out at that point, and now he's got it going. All I'm saying is that think about the Giants ballpark. The Giants have these huge gaps in right center and center field, big outfield. Yeah. And if you look at this division, Padres, enormous outfield. Colorado, enormous outfield. Huge. Dodger Stadium, huge outfield. Even this ballpark's got a good size outfield. You need if you play in the NL West and you're going to play the unbalanced schedule, meaning you're going to play the Dodgers 18 times, you're going to play all these teams 16, 17, 18 times a year, you better have a defensive center fielder. And they traded Steven Duggar. Duggar wasn't a great offensive player, but he was far and away their best defensive center fielder, and they traded him. And now there's been a chaotic feel to the Giants. And I would compare it. Now, this is a guy you guys probably remember, a blast from the past. Do you remember when they had Marvin Bernard and they also had Calvin Murray?
Yep.
Do you remember Calvin? Yep. Calvin was a former first-round pick of the Giants, and he also, kind of like Duggar, strong glove, not a great strong runner, strong glove, not a great hitter. Calvin's one of my favorites. I'm absolutely one of my favorites. Related to Kyler. I think he's Kyler's uncle.
Really?
Yeah, and he played at University of Texas, and I got to know him and befriend him and his wife when he was with the Giants. There is not a finer guy than Calvin Murray. Terrific guy. Love Calvin. And I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. I think he's working for a baseball agent now in retirement. He's got his whole second career. But when the Giants had Calvin Murray, Dusty didn't want to play Calvin. He wanted to play Bernard. And so he played Bernard. And there was a chaotic feel to the Giants back then. It was like 2000, 2001, beginning of the ballpark, because Bernard was a circus defensively in center field. He really was kind of more of a corner outfielder who was fast. And just because you're fast doesn't mean you can play center field. Calvin Murray, on the other hand, was like one of the greatest defensive center fielders probably in all of baseball. Do you remember some of the catches? He made a catch against the Cubs one day that was just maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen inside Pac Bell Park at the time, which is now Oracle Park. Yep. But my point is just that when Murray sat for Bernard, there was this chaotic feel to the Giants, and they just never didn't settle in. They just didn't really take off. Finally, Dusty started playing Calvin one of those years for an extended period of time, and the pitching got better, and the team started to take off. The Giants traded Duggar for Willie Calhoun, and they lost a really good glove in a really key spot. And it's been kind of a chaotic feel in the outfield ever since. I mean, they really don't have a center fielder. Slater's not a center fielder. He's more of a right fielder or left fielder. In an ideal world, Yaz plays on the corner, and they don't have that right now. So a guy like Jake McCarthy, I was just thinking of as not necessarily a center fielder, but as a speedster. As a guy who can cover some of those gaps. And I'd love to see that kind of impact speed. Now, Ramon Laureano is indeed exactly what the Giants need. They need someone with fire. They need someone with intensity, somebody who's going to be like, hey,
spark. They need a spark right
he
now.
Is a spark.
And they don't have time to wait. I just looked at their next 7 games on ESPN. They're actually favored in all 7. Even the first game against the Dodgers next Monday, they're favored because Rodon will go. See, tomorrow they got Rodon, then Webb, and then they go Wood, Cobb, then Junis Saturday. And
Thomas B donates $2 here. He says, we could get a haul for Rodon, Jock, Flores, and Ruff. I mean, that is the question. That's the question for Giants fans that I will throw into the chat. Let's just pretend that
they got 2 more starts before the trade deadline tomorrow.
Let's pretend that Farhan is in the green room right now and he's listening. He's back there eating our chips and laying around on our green room couches and partying in our green room, and he's listening to this show. If Farhan was sitting, and he could be sitting at his Tandy 5000 right now, looking at Ryan and his raccoon sunburn, Danny and his multitude of hats, and me in these rotating colored lights with my Warrior flag in the background, my Sacramento Gold Miners helmet. Farhan could be watching. He's
probably back there eating this.
He could be eating that chicken ass crap that Danny keeps trying to push that completes. You know what I was looking for? I was looking for that at CVS. I'm like, they're not going to have this at a grocery store. They're going to have this at like CVS.
No, more like
I still haven't been able to find
like
it.
a 7-Eleven or something, huh?
That's right. That's right.
$7 store.
Yeah, it is. It's
99-cent store.
It is 7-Eleven fare. All right, 7-Eleven fare. Couple things. One, if you're Farhan, and he's listening, and you're talking to him tonight, speak through the chat. If we go to some calls, we can speak through that as well. What do you want him to do? As we said, they're 2 games basically out of the wild card. They're only standing between the Phillies and the Cardinals, and the Giants are battling for this wild card. Do you try to add to your mix? Go get Laureano. Go try to make some moves on the margins. Doesn't sound like they're in on you want to make you even sicker.
I'm back in school. I'm going to raise my hand.
Do you know who I heard are the front runners for Juan Soto?
I'm sure it's got the Padres.
Dodgers and Padres. Dodgers and Padres.
Yeah. Well,
Dodgers and Padres. So now this unbalanced schedule 16 times a year. 16 times a year we're staring at Soto, hitting between Bellinger and Muncy and just
think
sick.
about 1, 2, 3, 4. Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, fucking Freddie Freeman, Juan Soto. What the fuck, man? The Giants don't even have a single player that would platoon for the Dodgers. Like,
I know. It's like a knife fight broke out, and the Giants brought a dull butter knife.
Oh, here's the first thing I would do to answer that question. Let me point out 3 things. The Phillies were tanking earlier in the year, and they fired Joe Girardi, and they took off and then they lost Bryce Harper. And because the clubhouse has changed, they're still ahead of the Giants, and they've actually been playing pretty decent ball for since they fired Girardi. The Toronto Blue Jays gave Charlie Montoya an extension in April, and because they were not meeting their satisfaction or their, the demands of what the Toronto Blue Jays expect of a winning club, they fired his butt, and now they've won 8 out of 10 and surpassed Tampa, and they're back on the move. That's what the Giants need to do first and foremost, is fire Gabe right now. They've lost 5 in a row coming out of a hot streak, and you talk about a momentum killer and a team that looks defeated. I mean, tomorrow they got a shot because Rodon's going against the Diamondbacks, and then you got Webb followed up by Wednesday. But if they lose the next 2, there's no doubt he should be fired. No doubt.
It's funny you're saying that because one, they won 107 last year. 2, I don't disagree with you. If I were the Giants, I'd go with Will Clark and Ryan Vogelsong and Wotus back in the third base coaching box. But there are a lot of people that would say, guys, pump the brakes. They've had this isn't Gabe's fault. This is on the ownership. This is on Farhan. Look at his team. I will say this: people who are downgrading the Phillies, and I've heard a lot of people
going in the background there. I think Larry.
There we go.
It's a game.
I'm sure Farhan.
There we go. Do we get it?
Yeah.
Listen, people have downgraded Philly. Like Philly's just crap. Like the Giants are way better than Philly. Here's Philly's 2 through 5 hitters, or 2 through 6. Kyle Schwarber, Rhys Hoskins, JT Realmuto, Nicholas Castellanos, Alec Boehm.
I take
That's
all
2,
of them
3, 4, 5, 6.
I take every one
Don't
of them.
tell me don't give me this garbage about how the Phillies are garbage.
And they don't have Harper.
And that's without Harper, and they're 2, 3, 4, 5. Every one of those guys. Schwarber is the best hitter in the Giant lineup, as is Hoskins, as is Realmuto, as is Castellanos. If the Giants even had an Alec Boehm, who's hitting 287, and they went 3 for 4 tonight, he'd be like the future. I mean, they'd be like Alec Boehm flags, and it'd be like Alec Boehm day at the yard, and people would be calling sports radio, going, "Well, at least we've got Boehm." I mean, do not put down the Phillies.
The Braves tonight. They beat the Braves tonight 6-4. So the Giants lost the game.
Unfortunately, that's the difference between the East Coast market and the West Coast market, especially in San Francisco, is like, we're all intelligent fan. I think as a whole, we have an intelligent fan base, and we're a little more measured, and we're not quite as crazy. I mean, I remember being in like the Phillies like Reddit threads when the Giants were playing the Phillies, and the Phillies were in a full free fall. Those guys were everybody was like, fire everyone. These guys don't want to compete. They just boot the ball around. No one plays defense, all this stuff. They put so much pressure. Like they had Kapler. Kapler didn't do a horrible job there. Boom, he's out. Like they
he was 500. He was 500. So what do you want the Giants to do? Hutch Serves Gaming donates $1.99. Says, we said it in the offseason. We need more offense. My goodness. Mark Graves, who's got the right to turn Danny's mic off at any moment, says the Giants are 500 body language. They're 20 games under 5. Wait, Giants are 500. Body language is 20 games under 500.
So true. So true.
Yeah. You may want to mix in a comma every now and then. I'm just the guy went to St. Ignatius College preparatory. I mean, Giants are 500. Period. Body language is 20 games under. I'm just joking, Mark. We love you. But $2, thanks for the donation from Mark Graves. But that's really the question. If you're a Giants fan, do you want them to – oh, wait, here we go. We get another one here. MF, $1.99. Speed up the trajectory on Vaughn Brown. So he's hoping Vaughn Brown comes firing out of the minor league system.
It does go back to –
what would you do? One more. Okay. MF, another $1.99. Wotus, Sabian, Ned, John Barr, and Vogie as coach. So he wants the whole crew coming back.
Hey,
what would you guys do? Would you sell? Would you sell, or would you buy on the margins? What would you do?
I'm gonna wait. If I can't get,
I'll mute myself.
All right, Dan, you have the floor.
All right. Larry's been muted for smacking Mark Graves.
You don't do that. You don't do that. Honestly, I feel like Laureano.
Hey, Larry, what do you think about being muted from your own show?
Oh God, self-harm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm unmuting. Mark Hope donates $5. He says, Farhan, fire Gabe now. All caps. Trade all prospects for
all
Soto,
400
Corbin,
of them.
Strasburg now. Make a run in 2022.
Hey, this is my thing on the buy sell.
Robert says sell.
Yeah. If you're not going to get Soto or Laureano, if you're not going to get just some guys that can immediately help you right now, then wait till Rodon. Maybe you don't wait. Maybe he ends up blowing his arm out and you're stuck with him. I mean, you don't. It's hard to say because he's going tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow he deals and the Giants. He shuts the Diamondbacks down and gives them more value. What would be really telling would be is if he shuts them down and they lose 1-0, then it's like, okay, trade them because you can't score at all, but he gave him the spark. We'll see what happens tomorrow. He gave him the spark in San Diego that started the 7-2 swing. Tomorrow, it's all on the line. If, I think to Rodon, as competitive as he is, it's like Game 7 for this team in the World Series. He's going out to shut this thing down, stop this losing streak. And I believe if he does that and then Webb follows it up, it can push him back on another roll because they're favored in all 4 against Chicago. Yeah,
but Dan, what do we? That's what keeps happening though. Is like we.
But then you can make a deal if you get on a swing, and then you can go get a Laureano and really start to lighten up. I mean, get a fire going.
So you want to buy? You want to buy? You want to go for it?
I want to see what happens tomorrow. If Rodon loses,
it's all about tomorrow.
Yeah. A lot of it is because if Rodon wins and does what he did in San Diego and fires his team up and Webb follows it back up, now you got some momentum coming home. But if somehow Rodon loses tomorrow or the Giants lose, even if he pitches good, then to me it's like, okay, I'm going to sell my best asset and recoup and start,
Jay Hutch serves gaming donates $1.99. He says, taking calls?
Always.
Yeah, we are taking calls. So we'll put the caller number in the video calls. You want to do Jay Hutch in the video?
You know what? I'll put the number in. If we're not getting much traction, then we're definitely sending in the video link for Jay Hutch.
A couple new donations here. Romo 2001 donates $5. He says, after Kapler's post-game meeting and the team comes out with this kind of performance the day after the meeting, Kapler has lost the team.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I know that sounds knee-jerk. I think he's right on that.
They were dead. They were dead flat.
They were totally dead.
That's what I was going to say. Like, we haven't even talked about the fact that they had an unprecedented closed door meeting and we're discussing whether or not he's lost the team. Well, they just came out and completely looked as flat as they have all freaking season. Like,
seriously, they almost look like they were getting no hit by Merrill Kelly.
I tried to put a comment out last night, but I was retweeting one of John Boy's media's takes on Twitter, and I couldn't put a comment on it. But he showed a fight between the Yankees and Red Sox, and the starting pitcher of the Yankees came out and grabbed Kapler by the throat,
right?
And Kapler was just popping him and bloodied his ear, and he was just wailing on him. And then he got in the dugout, and then he started, effing this, and then he was yelling, and it was like, that's what the Giants need of Gabe Kapler. They need that Gabe Kapler.
Wow.
What happened to that?
Danny wants to see Kapler just kick some ass.
Yeah, I want to see some ass.
Well, I want to see some emotion at least.
All right. MF donates $4.99. He says, I can't cook my spicy Italian sausages right now because I keep yakking every time the Giants lose. This play is absolutely sickening. It might be, guys. It might be a little time for a little.
There's another MF that we missed.
It might be a little. It might be time for some Pasquale.
Did we get that MF too?
No. This MF. Barrels.
You know what MF is dominating the chat by sending in $2 and throwing us off by every.
Once again, just for MF.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a.
Yeah, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night.
I think MF should just come on in and hey, MF, throw us $100 bone here.
I think the way MF rolls is he's not really a home run strikeout hitter. He's more of like he's just trying to get on base. He's trying to stay engaged.
He's Luis Gonzalez, huh?
Calba donates $10. He says, "What do you think is the trigger point to actually spending big money in free agency? I think it's when Harrison is ready to get here. Can't have a young pitcher feel like he has to pitch a shutout to win." Actually, I've been told by Farhan that they're not going to spend significantly in free agency until people spend significantly donating in the chat. Did you guys see that? Did you see that comment? He's like, if you want me to spend significantly in the market, I need that Krueg show chat to blow the hell up. I need people to really start donating.
I got that alert on my phone, but I thought it might have been like Ballsack Sports. But actually, now I look at it again, it's straight from The Athletic.
Calvin says, he says the Pasquale video is the best. So one more time.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner.
There you go, Pasquale.
I want to challenge MF for a big $100 donation, and then we'll bring you in on a video, and we're going to give you 5-10 minutes of just some straight one-on-one with Larry and Q&A and find out about you and a little bit. Because I want to see MF is all over social media.
So you're saying if this was an adult gentleman's club, it would be like, right now he's throwing ones at Larry, but what you want for him to have is you want a private dance in the back.
Yeah.
Hey, he's throwing ones at me, but Danny's saying, "How about the champagne room? How about the champagne room?" And I don't even think I don't even think there's a curtain or a door. It's just beads. You got to walk through beads to get back there. You got to move aside the beads. Welcome to the champagne room.
Hey, I just won a nice bet tonight after losing 2 bets. The Dodgers lost. I took the Nats to win.
And the rich get richer.
I took the Nats to win plus 245. So it was a pretty good bet. I just took them on the straight win. But you know what? Should I show my cards and tell what a foolish bet I made tonight?
Yeah,
I meant to take the Diamondbacks.
Larry's room already looks like the champagne room. Thank you.
Yes. The flashing lights. So,
yes, welcome to the champagne room.
So I took
welcome to Pandora's Box. All drink $7.95, 4-drink minimum.
She's my cherry pie.
All right,
I like the under tonight with the Giants. It was 8.5.
Screw you and your wagers.
And I bet I took the wrong one. I meant to take the Diamondbacks in the under, and I took the Giants by mistake in the under, so I lost the bet.
See what happens? That's Dan Coccimilgio, securemoney.com on the web. Nick Martinez has donated 5 bones. Does Nick have a Dodger hat on in that picture?
I don't know.
It might be Aquilani's.
Aquilani's. He says, you know why that meeting didn't work? Because Cap never said the coaches need to do better. He only said the players need to do better. There's nothing worse than pointing the finger. We sounds a lot better than you. We need to play better, and you guys need to play better. Always rubs guys wrong. I think there's a very good chance Kapler's lost the room. I really do believe that.
I'm sure that what happened is Brandon Belt tried to get up and galvanize the entire team, and then Kapler got up and said, "Wait, Brandon, let's let Austin speak. Let's let Austin."
Yeah. MF donates $4.99. He says, I thoroughly enjoy this show and following you guys on Twitter. Did you guys see Kyle Shanahan on with Tim Kawakami from The Athletic? I did not. MF, you're going to have to fill us in.
Research. I'll do a little crack research right here.
See if you can locate that.
Yeah, and I want to know, MF, what is the difference between what moves you to go from $4.99 to $1.99? I want to know what the feel is.
What I want to know is who's doing the 99. Are you I mean, like, it's one thing if you say, hey, would you like to buy this house? How much is it? It's $699,000. I get that, but it sounds cheaper, but doesn't, to donate $199, I mean,
well, Larry, I think he doesn't want to embarrass everyone else by putting out round numbers.
He might.
Look at this one. Matthew Mears. Kapler is a Larry. Larry. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. It is true, though. How many times in commercials in 2022 do they make Larry just an asshole? Have you noticed that?
Hey, Larry.
I hate to swear for the young kids here, but there's been a considerable swearing tonight. But I will say this. Have you noticed that? They've made Larry into the world's biggest jerk. They never say, nobody ever says, hey, Larry, come on, let's go. And Larry's like a cool guy. They always go, Larry blew it. Larry did it this way. Larry. It's like you gotta kind of emphasize the L and kind of say it with disdain. It's a name that's being beaten up on. I'm thinking about hiring an attorney. Do you think can I seek counsel?
Let's go with law.
My mother used to call me Lawrence.
Really?
Lawrence.
Hey,
you always knew that mom was, wanted to get to something real when she dropped a Lawrence on you. Yeah. Hey, Lawrence? Oh Christ, what did I do?
Oh wow!
Oh my God.
Larry is a male version of Karen. That's
Stop it! Stop! Do not get that going. Do not even try that.
I'm not gonna lie, guys.
That ain't right. Ain't right.
I'm like in serious pain. Like for this sunburn, like I'm like having trouble like looking. Like I think that I like burned through my eyeballs or something. I'm not quite sure the logic behind it, but I think I need like IV and some Advil.
Really? Well, pop some Advil. Hey, by the way, everybody get up bright and early tomorrow morning. Check me out on the KTVU morning show, Talking Niners Training Camp. I'll be on tomorrow at 8:45.
That's still Channel 2, right? Channel 2 still up there?
Channel 2, 8:45 on the KTVU morning show. The great Sal Castaneda has invited me in, and who knows? Should be fun. We'll
I think
talk
James
about 49ers.
Foster says maybe the things are just checked at $199, $499 and up, and then maybe they're already built in, and then some guys can make it a custom donation.
Mark Hope just said Marty just dropped a tweet.
Breaking news.
Get me Marty's tweet.
I'm getting it right now.
Let me see it. Let me
Hutch
look it up.
Serves Gaming donates $199. Larry's neighbor is a Karen. Let's leave Karen alone. Let's leave Larry, my neighbor Larry, and his wife Karen. Oh man, I'm telling
you. Marty. 9 minutes. Saw this one in person. The score tells the story. Not good in any phase of the game. 0-5 since the break. Dodger series was competitive. Tonight wasn't. Big decisions coming up.
Ooh.
That's his.
Ooh, spooky.
Looming.
Big decisions coming up.
Well, Marty's smart. I mean, let's give Marty, his. Marty is smart. He's nobody's fool. He's not.
I should have went down there.
He's not going to sit here like it's Mondays in the park and sing songs and fair and foul and all that crap. He's going to sit there and be real. I mean, come on.
I should have went down there tonight with Marty and
Marty
met
says
with him.
his Volvo's orgasmic.
That's us.
I should have went down there, but I was too cheap, man. I said, somebody asked me on Twitter, hey, Dan, you going to the game tonight? And I said, no, I'm not going to pay to watch these guys. I can watch it on TV for free.
Look at you. Well, how hot is it in the desert right now?
It wasn't as bad today. It was in the high 90s, but right now. Hey, Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
You're very pushy with your Alexa.
92. Hey, Alexa, volume 10. Hey, Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Hey, Alexa, host of Giants postgame show.
You hear that?
Alexa, why is a guy with money in the bank keep eating that chicken ass crap?
Hey, Alexa,
what's up with
another
the
name for Larry?
That thing spits out Karen. I'm coming to your house and kicking your ass.
According to clustermaps.com, the list of alternative names for Larry includes Larry Bear SR, Larry B. Bear.
Larry Bear!
Larry Bear.
Oh, Larry Bear. Hey, yeah, Larry Bear.
Stop. Nick Martinez says
Larry Teddy Bear.
Chad is the Karen of men's names. Chad.
Oh yeah, that's probably about right. It's probably about right.
All right. Chad.
Somebody just said, that's hilarious.
Hey Alexa, order more Hormel completes.
Wait, I actually think if you said that, is it linked to your Amazon account? They may just ship it straight to you.
Could you imagine if all of a sudden you got a gigantic box of that garbage?
Hey, you know what? If somebody got my address and looked it up, and all of a sudden I get all these people in the chat sending me cases of Hormel completes. If that happens, I'm bringing them up when I come up to the Giant, and I am going to put those through the concession.
Dan's like, please, nobody send me more Hormel. Oh, that would be horrible. I would hate that.
Hey.
Kapler in a nutshell. 2 of the 3 hits tonight came from Luis Gonzalez. Gabe probably pulls him in the office, got mad at his egregious base running. Yes, pickoff was bad, but come on, Luis is your only hitter.
Yeah, seriously,
can you, if you're Kapler and you have your team produces 3 freaking hits, can you seriously get mad at the guy who had 2 of the 3 hits?
Didn't he also get picked? Didn't he also get doubled up at second on the line?
Yes, he got doubled off at second base.
Jesus Christ, I forgot about it. Also, I felt like he should have maybe gone to third. I don't know if that was quite on him, but I thought he could have stretched out to a triple.
Oh my God!
Oh well, he stumbled coming around second.
Oh, see, those are the
coming around first. He's
on the Diamondbacks broadcast.
He was going for 3, and I think that's why he started.
How about this one? Callie Hat says, "Stop! You're setting off my Alexa." LOL.
Oh God! Of course, they're no shaming at all here, but of course they're EBT eligible.
Amazon stocks this. Says Amazon unfortunately does stock
much on
complete.
Amazon if you like? How much? What
are the other options? What are the other options you get there?
Wait. Do you see this though?
What's that?
Fresh, free 2-hour delivery on orders over $35. So if you bought like 40 of these things,
if you're tuning into the live stream for the first time and you're going, "What in the hell is going on here?"
I should order like 30 of $35 worth, and while we're on the show, someone rings my doorbell. And it's a bunch of
we need to explain this. Okay, so why are we looking up these like really bad TV dinners? Well, because Danny, who's made of nothing but money. I mean, seriously, he's got multiple residences. I mean, he's got just money in the bank for days. He keeps eating this crap, and he's busting it out left and right. And it's filled. His whole pantry is filled with these completes. And we made him cook the beef one a couple of weeks ago, which was just horrible. Horrible looking.
This one was it the Salisbury? Oh, there we go.
What do you got?
The 12-pack assortment.
12-pack for only $56, Dan. You could be eating that garbage
on Amazon?
forever.
Oh, it is.
I'm going to look up my Amazon.
So anyway, the reason we're looking this up is because Danny cooked it and then fed it to the dogs, I think, right?
Yeah,
it was really bad.
You
and it
dared
actually,
me to
we dared you, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun with it. Danny was eating lumpia the other night that looked beautiful, but that was not complete. That was Danny.
Wait, can we? You know what? It would be great. Can we what's like the most egregious one?
We had a great joke. I wish we had cut this and put it into a video. Remember the joke that we told about how great it would be if the Giants gave that away for like and Dan just like doubled over. He could not stop laughing. The idea of walking through the turnstiles as a season ticket holder to be handed one of those completes. And we've been calling it chicken ass, and Hawk 1951 says, "Bring on the chicken ass." Yes.
Wait. I want to look at, because Amazon reviews, especially when there's a lot of reviews, there's some great detailed reviews. I want to see some reviews. I need to see which one should I click on for reviews? Maybe something a little more egregious.
Wait a second. MF is wait a second. Look at guys. MF has become a YouTube member.
Okay. All right.
There we go. YouTube member. Now, what does it cost to be a member? It's like $4.99. It's like $4.99 a month.
But a gallon of gas.
This might be a good time to tell people not only what we are going to be doing, but we are going to be doing something that's really cool. If you are a member of the Krueg Show, and all you got to do is click join. I think it's $4 a month, something like that.
$4.99. You want me to hit it?
$4.99. You should already be a member, Danny. Damn it. All right, but if you're not a member, we are going to be giving special privileges to members. Not only are we going to bring you a lot of 49er coverage from training camp starting Wednesday, and we're finalizing that, and we will be in camp every single day, and we'll have stuff for members virtually every single day. But we're also going to do a thing because fantasy football is just around the corner. If you're a member, you can send us your fantasy team and we'll give you our evaluation of your team. And then if you're a team member, you can give us each week your fantasy matchup for our live stream and we'll go through it. We'll tell you what we think. We'll tell you what we think of your team and your opponent and we'll even give you some advice. If you want us to tell you who we would start in your fantasy week against player X in your league. So you got to be a team member to do it because there will be a lot of people who want to participate in this. So if you're not a team member, become a team member. It's going to be easily the greatest value you have ever gotten for $4.99 because we're going to have lots of exclusive 49er content. We're also going to have a fantasy football league.
That's the big one.
That's the cool one. We're going to do a fantasy football league, and we're only going to pick, I think it's going to be a 10-team league. So we're going to take 10 or 12. We're going to take the rest of the league. I'm going to have a team. Danny's going to have a team. Rye's going to have a team. We're not going to give Len a team. Len doesn't get a team, but the three of us will have a team. There'll be 7 or 9 additional teams that are chosen from our members. So if you want to play fantasy football against Danny, who you know you
guy, I'll just kill you guys.
This is the guy who eats completes. I mean, you'll beat him for nothing. Now Ryan and I will be
spamming out trades to try. He's going to be trying to trade, Alan Lazard for Christian McCaffrey.
Oh my God! Could you imagine the fantasy trades? So anyway,
I'm going to get jocked. Larry's going to come up and cold talk me.
You could be in our fantasy league. MF donates $4.99. He says, I won my fantasy league last year. I'm a huge Niners fan. Would love to hear John Lynch, Tim Ryan, and Matt Barrows on the show. Well, that's the other thing we're going to do. We're going to take requests from people that are part of our club for interviews that we can get at camp.
Yeah. So,
and we'll get and by the way, we're going to get all 3 of those guys, John Lynch, Tim Ryan, and Matt Barrows will all appear.
So why don't we, let me push the button here for the members 26 seconds break, and we'll just let them see what they got to do. Video? Yeah, here we go.
I'll do it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, got it.
And the answer is no. Tommy Pham will not be in our league. But look at the people in the chat. Well, first of all, I give this one. Kyle McKiernan. Larry, yell, Alexa, order me Depends. Dan will get a pallet of diapers.
I think we ought to auction off some Giants tickets and create a prize for someone in the membership to go to the game with Larry.
That'll be nice. Romo 2001 says, MF. See the people loving the new member. Romo 2001 with the woohoo. Hutch, hype new member. Romo 2001, welcome aboard. Hutch says, welcome MF. We got a lot of Chewy stocks, those well.
Hey, did we get a name for MF? Is that Mike Ford? Is that what he said it was one time?
I just like MF. It suggests MF does say he loves the Krueg show. So and then we got Cal welcoming MF. I mean, there's a lot of warmth in the chat tonight.
There is. And on my face.
Matt Williams. What's Nick Martino? Okay, what are we looking at here? Well, we've got
wait, guys! I gotta show these real quick. Check out these photos. I've pulled up 2 select things of completes. Look at this. Okay, so this is the beef pot roast. All right, supposed to look like that. All right,
carrots.
What do you think that is?
What the heck's that? That looks like a
beef stroganoff or something. What is that?
That looks awful.
No, this is disgusting.
What is it?
It's beef pot roast.
Oh man!
And then I've got one more.
just like Mom used to make.
Just like Mom used to make.
Hey, I'm looking for. You know how you can on Amazon subscribe and you get the extra, and they just ship
MF
it every
donates
month?
another $4.99. He says, "I won my fantasy." He's this. We already had that one. Okay.
Ugh.
Ooh,
Here we go. Oh, here we go.
That's awful. That's dog food. There, you just put up.
Swan Song $5 donation. Larry, you are a machine. Cheers. I like people who say cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. DJ Over the Top has become a YouTube member.
Wow.
Look at
hey.
that. Look at that. DJ Over the Top. I like that. I like that. MF throws $4.99 back in the mix. He said, would love to hear the voice of the Niners, Greg Papa, on the show. Greg Papa not being on pre and post game Giants has cursed the Giants. Hey, guess what? They couldn't afford him. Pop doesn't work cheap.
Hey, did you see the other day?
We
The other guy.
We'll get Greg on for sure.
What's that guy's up there that comes on? Rodriguez or
Look at DJ Over the Top, guys. Best money he's ever spent.
All right. Yes.
That. That's incredible.
Hey, what was the guy's name on the post-game show of the Giants? He ran around the room.
Carlos Ramirez.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear Rich Aurelian's comments?
No. And I don't want to laugh at anybody because it's like, I don't know Carlos Ramirez.
I don't know him either, but Rich Aurelian said, don't you ever
do that again.
That's
funny. That's funny. Don't you ever run around this room again. It's tough. It's tough.
Oh, they're rolling in.
Look at that. Christian Hernandez has become a YouTube member. People want to have their fantasy team evaluated. We'll give you fantasy breakdown on your club, and then we'll give you weekly fantasy breakdown on your matchup.
Hey,
and I think that's going to be kind of cool.
Chardal needs a little love here.
Chardal does. You know what? Chardal is back with a vengeance, I think.
He says, I am a member.
He is a member. That's right. Yeah. Chardal in the house. We love you, Chardal.
Love you, Chardal.
Hey, Hutch, come on. You should try this stuff, man. You're about, especially you being
starved than eat
out
that
in the middle of Murfreesboro, man. You're going to have, there's no grocery stores within 100 miles of you, man. You better stock up.
My name is Mike Frank. I'm Italian, and I love sausage. Oh, that's good to know.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner.
There you go.
I feel like that's a solid, forgetting the word, premise for a sitcom.
What's that? My name's Mike Frank. I'm Italian, and I like sausage.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bad rap here, okay? Let me just put this out there one more time. Oh,
look at this. Look at this. Steve Roach. Is it Roach? It's become a new YouTube member.
There we go. The memberships are flying.
Look at that.
Everybody wants in fantasy football.
The fantasy league.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We're going to play for real money, too. We're not going to have like a $10,000 buy-in, but we're going to have real money. Real money.
Real money.
Would you say
SecureMoney.com will manage everything? Okay. So, Mercedes, I don't eat these by choice. This is emergency desperation food.
Steve Roach.
Steve Roach. Oh, what happened? Steve Roach. Fuck you, Larry. Joking. I love you. All right. I like those bipolar commentary. It's always
if you become a member, you're allowed like one roast.
Yeah, seriously. If you can even tell me my name is the male equivalent of Karen.
49er Mike Frank is 100% an alias. he's bagging on MF.
Someone says, Calba says, is Tommy Pham part of the fantasy league? No, we don't want Tommy Pham to hit Danny in the outfield.
What if all of a sudden we just saw Tommy Pham has become a member?
He's one of these guys who just has to play fantasy no matter what.
Did we already do this one?
Yeah, we already read that one. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for paying attention, Dan.
I think that was when I was trying to explain my complete
your complete loss of memory.
Yeah.
Matthew Mears, Krueg show blowing up, completes the like button. Yes.
Oh, Steve Roach. Just showing the love.
Oh, look at that. First channel is sub to the best on YouTube. Look at that.
I did a lot of ripping about my lack of sunscreen. I own sunscreen. You wouldn't believe it, but I'm a naturally pretty tan guy. Went to school in Santa Barbara, and you know what? I got cocky. I thought I was tougher than the sun. I thought I could lay out all day and be fine, rest up before a wedding, and I was incorrect.
But you did run into Ryan Russillo's agent.
I did, and I took a picture that was photobombed by iCarly for all my,
Was that really iCarly?
Yeah.
Really from Disney Channel?
From Nickelodeon, from Drake and Josh, and
okay, look at that.
Pull that.
See, my kids are a little bit beyond that, but I've seen my Disney Channel. I've seen my Nickelodeon. I'm not adverse to a little Nickelodeon.
Oh,
I'm not the adult that goes to Disneyland by himself every year, but I'll watch a little Nickelodeon. Did I tell you the guy used to call our show? He's like, he went to Disneyland every year by himself. We're like, oh, you can bring your grandkids? No, I don't have any. Oh, you bring your kids? No, I don't have any. Yes, that's iCarly in the yellow dress back there.
That's actually iCarly.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at Rye, by the way, with the frosted tips and the sunglasses and the tan forehead and all these.
Who's the one? The girl? Is that your girlfriend right there?
No, that is the woman who's married.
Oh, this is your girlfriend.
I was going to say.
And these are my. I guess I got a little frosty as well by being in the pool.
Look at that. It's like
how long did it take you to get those things up?
Is that sun in? I mean, yeah. Is that where'd you get that? Look at that.
Did you do each one individual? Like
you peroxide that bad boy or what?
Or did you sleep with curls in your hair the night before to get ready for the wedding?
Oh, I could break it down. I've got like a pretty. It kind of looks like a manly hair putty, but it's.
I thought you were going to say curling iron. I was absolutely going to dump you.
Put a little on. I just give one of these.
Oh, it's like the stuff Brandon Crawford uses. You got the stuff Crawford uses?
He's got product, Danny.
I got product.
Hey, I got chicken ass. Don't give me a break. I got chicken ass. I'm way ahead of him.
Look at when we start going hair product for Danny. Danny gets pissed. That's when
don't
Danny
talk
really
hair product, okay? Don't talk any hair product.
And that was just from one use of Rye's hair product. I mean, that's how quickly it goes.
Man, I can show you some hair when I was in high school.
Hey, you're a good-looking bald man, though. Seriously, not everybody can be a good-looking bald man.
You are
a good-looking bald man.
Oh, thank you.
It's a good-looking dome. It's got a nice tan to it. MF 499. My fantasy sleepers are Hollywood Brown. What? Hollywood Brown can't catch a cold. Allen Robinson, who I do like. I think Allen Robinson's joining Cooper Kupp in LA.
I like
Brandon Ayuk. I think that's a good one. He's Trey Lance's best buddy.
Yeah.
And his running backs are Chase Edmonds, who's now in Miami, Ramondre Stevenson. I love Ramondre Stevenson, and Kenneth Walker III, the rookie out of Michigan State, who's in Seattle. You know what? MF knows his ball. MF knows his ball. Just Edmund Stevenson and Kenneth Walker tell me that MF knows his ball.
You know what MF is doing?
I have all three of those guys on my team.
MF is going to draft Hollywood Brown and then trade him to when's Hopkins back? Is that
week 6 or week 8?
Him to Dan
7. He's got 6. He's banned. He's got a 6-game suspension.
6-game?
Yeah. Hey, James Foster asked a little bit ago, how do I become a member?
James, all you got to do is go and click the join button on YouTube, and it's on the phone. It's a little hard to find, but if you're on the computer, it's easier.
Yeah, there's been allegations that you can't do it on your phone, but then
you can. You can do it on your phone.
You can. I think you
can. Wait, let me. I'm not sure. You might have to click the 3 dots and then hit join.
Yeah, wait. I'm going to walk through this.
You can walk through it.
I'll walk through this.
While you're doing that and help figuring that out. So your Twitter poll about who to blame, Larry?
Yeah.
Farhan ownership.
Do you have the numbers?
They were the same. They were about 35% on Farhan.
Everybody's blaming Farhan.
Here was my take on this. I think I wrote you an answer. I don't even remember. I'll have to pull it up and see exactly what I said. But I said if the ownership is capping Farhan at $155 million, then it's ownership's fault. But if ownership has given Farhan the ability to go up to $200 million in payroll, then I believe it's Farhan's fault 1. And then I would put it Kapler 2. I have Kapler 2 in everything because it's either the owners or Farhan, because I think
in fairness, by the way, because we went off on this the other day, we didn't know that Yaz was not available.
Right.
We didn't know that. That's why we kept going off on. But so what? That doesn't really change things.
Put Wade in left field.
Yeah,
I want to play Jock Peterson against his former club.
Or Jock, yeah. Either Jock
Anybody
or Wade.
but Austin Wins. I mean, literally, Austin Wins was the only guy you wouldn't consider.
Exactly.
And that's the guy that he played because he's endless with his lefty-righty games. But the one that made the most sense was play Yaz for D. But Yaz had, what was it, Danny, an ankle?
Something with his calf or something. I understand.
Calf.
When he banged into the side of the wall in the outfield going for that ball that was in the stands.
So Yaz was not an option last night. But either way, I mean, it was. I don't know. I guess you could blame Farhan before Kapler, but I don't know. It seems to me that I don't know. I'm not sure who to blame. It's easier to blame for me to blame Kapler than it is to blame Farhan. Farhan, I think, has proven first of all, I think it's all Farhan. So it's like, why would I even be crediting Kapler for the 107 if Farhan's the guy making all the decisions? So I think Farhan is the brains behind the operation, and I think Farhan's really, really key. So how could I, if this team's not going well, it's Farhan it's Farhan's show. I think Gabe is carrying out Farhan's wishes, but I just think that Gabe has lost some effectiveness as a leader in that room with some of the veterans. And I have no sources, and I'm not, whispering to anybody's wife or girlfriend I'm not trying to go behind the scenes collecting data. I'm just reading the tea leaves and reading taking in the comments that I'm hearing from people around the club, people that I trust, trying to put it all together. And it just seems like this team is, it's like Gabe. I don't know. It seems to me that Gabe has lost the veterans. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what from afar, that's the way it appears. Am I the only one who thinks that way?
Yeah, it looks to me they look like a defeated group. I mean, it seems to me what's happening right now is guys like Rodon, Wood, maybe Belt to an extent are going to try and say, hey, we got to take this ship over. It's sinking, and they're the ones coming out and speaking. And if things don't get done here this week, I mean, I really do believe tomorrow is a critical game because you think about it. If Rodon pitches great and they win, and they get then followed by Webb, and it turns into some momentum coming home, versus if Rodon loses, now it's like, dang, we're under 500. We've lost 6 in a row out of the break. I think that at that point, either way.
Hold that thought. Calba Kamiga donates $10. His Farhan's doing exactly what he told Larry Bear he'd do when Bear begged him to take the job. Collect prospects and wait 5 years. That's not what Larry Bear wants. I don't believe that at all.
It's confusing. I mean, it goes back to what we've been. I mean, for everyone that's kind of new to the channel, at the beginning of the year, when the Giants started tailing off, what we repeatedly kept saying is like, we just want Farhan or somebody to come out and just like make a declaration of like their objective this season. Because that's the confusing the thing that kind of messed things up is that we won 107 last year with all these cast-offs and older players. I guess if we were kind of crappy again last year and then we were crappy again this year, we could be like, okay, well, we're just waiting for the prospects and all that to build up. But it's just kind of confusing because it feels like we're in a win. It's like we're trying to have our cake and eat it too in a way. And then I want to throw this one to you guys as well. I know we're saying buy or sell. I would not be opposed, and I don't know what you guys would think. I wouldn't be opposed if we were sellers, like we sold off some of our older guys. We sold Rodon for prospects, all this stuff. But then also, I wouldn't be opposed to going out and getting a Laureano or somebody that I feel like can be with this club, 3 years from now as a centerpiece.
So you're just saying you like the idea of buying players that have club control.
Yeah, like
club control
thing.
Well,
that makes sense.
Here's a real frustrating thing with the Giants. Let me just point something out. We won 3 World Series.
Who's we? You got a mouse in your pocket?
Yeah, the Giants won. I call him I'm part of the family. I'm part of the family. Part of the
They're
family.
voting you out as fast as possible.
They probably are if
your
they're watching
comments.
this Krueg show.
Yes, seriously. They're like, we've got a family member we'd like to kick out of the family.
He's the black sheep. Definitely.
He no longer completes us.
But you look at the teams. The Giants have not made the playoffs back-to-back since 2002, 2003. The Dodgers are going to be, this is their 10th straight year in the playoffs. The Cardinals have had 3 in a row. The Brewers they have a 4-year streak. Houston's going on 5-year, or has a 5-year streak. The Yankees are 4 or 5. The Tampa's 3 years. There's like 6 teams that have had 3 years or more consecutive in the playoffs. And to me, the mistake that the Giants have made when Farhan took this club over, they definitely had to rebuild, and we knew it was going to take time. Okay, but now you're coming off a 107 win season. That you were the best team in baseball for the entire regular season, and were just a fluke away from advancing. I mean, they had a shot. They were, it went 8 innings. It was tied against LA, Game 5. So what you should have done this offseason, in my opinion, you talked about it yesterday, Larry, taking that extra 5% that the Dodgers spent in payroll, which was $20 million, and paid Castellanos a 2 to 3 year deal worth 5 to 10 more per year, more per season, with a 1-year opt-out, because you're waiting for prospects. So you got to fill in with good players. You could have got Schwarber and given those guys, Schwarber, Castellanos, Trevor Story, guys like this, giving them the 1-year option with a 3-year contract. You didn't have to go 5 years with those guys, but your prospects are 2 to 3 years away. You got to fill in with players that can play, not 35-year-old slow, broken down guys that can't move, that get on the IL every 3 weeks.
MF donates $4.99. Do we trust Farhan in a rebuild situation? I know Farhan went to MIT and worked with Billy, but does he have the scouting background to get this on track? I mean, that really, ultimately, it's you're only as good as your scouts. How good are the Giants scouts? Now, Farhan went through and hired all the guys he wanted to hire. I mean, he brought in guys he wanted to hire, from the A's, Michael Holmes and others who he thought were good personnel evaluators. So they've changed over some of their guys. But that is interesting. Do you trust Farhan to rebuild this thing? I would. But you know what? I'm a little... I don't know. Personally, I just think that I like Farhan and I would stick with Farhan, but I think Gabe's run his course. I think Gabe's one of those guys that wears you out. I think he wears you out. I think after a year or 2 years, I think the grinding, the intensity, the lefty righty matchup games forever, the statistical printouts that you're just absolutely sworn by, that you're just going to live by. I don't think that's a leader. I don't think you're a leader when you're just reading what the Tandy 5000 said. So I don't know. I personally, I think, to me, the Giants need a blend. They need a blend of Farhan and his genius analytics and some old-fashioned throwback baseball. And Absolutely. So I said it on Twitter tonight. I would dump Gabe and I would dump Bailey and I would replace him with Will Clark and Ryan Vogelsong. And that would give me 2 guys with a lot of baseball knowledge and a lot of fire. And they would go in the dugout. And then you put Ron Wotus back at third base. He's one of the best third base coaches in baseball for another couple more years. And
I kind of like him in the dugout as a bench coach, with Will being a first-time manager.
Yeah, I'm open to that too, Danny. That's a good idea as well. But I think he's so good and valuable at third. But that's an interesting one. It's like, are people, for the most part, when I asked who's to blame, they pretty much exonerated Gabe Kapler of the blame. But it's easy to look at this team and say they don't have enough talent, and there's no doubt about that. But I think more than anything, I sense a terrible vibe around the team, like a vibe of just everybody's tight. And I think that emanates from Gabe.
You know what bothers me,
I think
though,
Will
Larry,
would change
is
the whole atmosphere. Don't you guys think Will would change the atmosphere?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It'd be a change overnight. It would
MF
be
says $1.99. Kapler and Harbaugh have similarities. I can see that. I can see that. Both guys are very much control guys. It's my way or the highway.
It's hard. It's hard to get it's just really hard to get a feel. Sorry, we missed this one from MF. Why is Tommy Listella and Longoria still with the team right now? Makes no sense. You guys
DFA both those guys. I would DFA both those guys.
If
trade him or trade Listella. Listella might have a market.
Listella has a market. He could DH for somebody and fill in at seconds. Pinch hit.
Would you rather? Because personally, if we can't trade them, if we don't want to eat the money in DFA, I would almost rather just fucking put them on the IL or whatever for the rest of the year. Like just put them on injured reserve, whatever. At least
you see the nice play that VR made at third tonight on that hot shot.
Defense is nice. A little better.
He looks good at third. Yeah,
he does. He's not the biggest guy, and he doesn't have big third base power, but he seems to have nice hands. SG Sports Talk channel donates $1.99. Hey, Larry, what are your thoughts on Will Clark? I think Will Clark brings an unbelievable, almost unmatched intensity, and I think he would be exactly what the doctor ordered. I think if you combined Farhan's analytics with the fire of a Will and a Vogie, I think that would give you a better – I think that's a better option than what Kapler is. Now, Boch, the old style Boch of just going by your instincts, I think those days have kind of come and gone. But if you have Farhan and his analytics and you have Will Clark in that dugout kind of leading the charge, I think you can blend the two. I think Will is an open-minded guy who doesn't think he knows everything, but he knows how to hit. And he knows baseball players. He's got a great feel, but he's got great fire and great energy. And I just really think that this club lacks that. I want to see the same energy that Will Clark brought to the club in 1986. I want to see that level of energy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I want to see that level of energy coming up on the field right now. Steve Roach says, here's $5. What is he doing? Look at our farm. Our top draft picks haven't done much. I think these players are checked out. Well, yeah, I mean, Farhan does not have a prospect success story, which is a problem considering this is year 4.
Well,
he doesn't. I mean, forget a major leaguer that's drafted, developed, and doing it. He doesn't have that, but he doesn't really have that guy who you can point. I guess it maybe Kyle Harrison would be the guy that is the biggest impact, who's also closest to the bigs.
Yeah, I mean, Harrison is definitely on the rise, and had Luciano not injured his back, had a strain, they say he's almost ready to come back any time now. But he was starting to really pick it up at high A. He was starting to get hot, hitting home runs left and right, and so if he comes back healthy and starts cranking, that would be your other guy. I mean, he's an exciting guy when I watch him.
Once again, though, don't tell me about anybody in A-ball. I don't care about A-ball.
I understand. Here's the thing that bothers me about all of this is the nickel and diming and saying that we're in on guys like Trevor Story and getting hope up, and then you don't get him, or Castellanos.
No, it's a mixed message. And
we
talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this. You run into your buddy. He says, hey man, what are you doing these days? Oh, are you kidding me? Things are going great. I'm pricing Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Yeah. And then you see him 3 weeks later and he's driving around with a Ford Aspire or a smart car. And you're like, bro, what happened to your Lamborghini? Where's the Ferrari? I decided to go with an Aspire. You know what you'd call that guy to your buddies? He's a lying sack of crap. He was lying to me about the Ferrari and the Lamborghini, and he went and got himself an Aspire. He's all hat, no cattle. He talks a big game, but he can't deliver.
Well, this is the problem that frustrates me.
You're setting expectations.
Yes, exactly. My point was,
you don't do that with your clients.
Never.
I'm going to make you're going to be the equivalent of John Fisher when I'm done with you.
Very realistic what I tell my clients. I tell them exactly what to expect.
3 weeks later, you're like, hey, look, things didn't work out.
Look at that. Give me a raise, Larry. Come on.
Dan is speaking the truth.
Yeah,
100.
I need a raise, man. This is
One more chat. Oh, we won this one. Will Clark doesn't want to manage. Now, I don't know that that's the truth. I know that Will retired to spend more time with Trey, to spend more time at home. He has an autistic son, but that was a number of years ago now. That was 1997. His situation could be different now. He's a roving minor league instructor. This would take more time than being a roving minor league instructor, but the pay is also significantly better. Will, I think in a lot of ways, Will's ideally meant for this role. I think he would just be outstanding in this role. So,
absolutely.
And if he wasn't, you might be right, but I'm not convinced you're right.
If he's not one that would want to manage, I would go second next choice to Wotus. And if Wotus is saying he's, I think Wotus would jump at it. But for some reason, if they didn't go Wotus, I like Bob Brenly. I tell you, he was an ex-Giant, and he has some fire. And
he's got a World Series.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this comparison?
I don't think the Giants would go that direction.
No, they wouldn't, though, because of his comments that he made at one point. And that's just the way the organization runs. So, but it's
What do you think about this comparison? Because it's not that I don't think Kapler is I think Kapler is a bright dude. I'm just not sure if he's really equipped, at least right now with this roster, to lead this group of men. It's almost a little bit could be like the Boston Celtics situation where Brad Stevens was a good coach, but it got to a point where they started tuning him out. He kind of lost the locker room, and he got ahead of it, and he said, you know what? I'm going to step into a front office role. I'm going to bring in a guy with more fire and Ime Udoka, and he got on some nerves, and people were like, what the hell? This guy's yelling and, bitching. He's all this stuff in the press conferences, and these young kids can't handle it. And then look what happened. I mean,
Hutch Serves Gaming donates $1.99. He says, I have 3 top mistakes I think Farhan made. What are you teasing? What are they? You want to be on the call? Call us in. Call in. SG Sports Talk channel said, hey, Larry, what are your thoughts on Will Clark? Now, we read that.
Yeah, we read that one, yeah.
No, we read that, but then I'm looking down here, and Calba is saying to us, or SG Sports Talk said, can you read my super chat? So I think I did. I read your super chat there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that the best spot for Gabe would be to be in the minor league, running the head of minor league operations, or not head of it, but scouting or something down there that he was doing with the Dodgers. I mean, that's where he was up for the job that Dave Roberts got, and they went with Dave Roberts, and then Kapler went to Philadelphia, and then the story there, he got fired, and he didn't even have to wait a year to find another job. It was like boom. I mean, that was Farhan's number one man right away.
Oh, he's wanted. I mean, look what Farhan had to endure press conference wise to get Gabe in the door. I mean, it was like he almost didn't make it past the introductory press conference. So, I mean, this is his guy for sure. Believe me, if you see anybody in that dugout but Kapler, that was forced on Farhan. Farhan wants Kapler, and I understand that, and I can see why he likes Kapler, but at the same time, it's like, dude, this team is tight as a drum, and the vibe around them sucks, and they don't seem like he just had a total closed door meeting, and what happened? They almost got no hit tonight.
Yeah, almost,
they look terrible. MF donates $4.99. He says, how much does Tim Ryan squat? I heard a rumor by Murph and Mac that he's a stud in the weight room. I mean, it's all relative. You got to remember, Tim Ryan used to weigh 295. Tim Ryan doesn't weigh 295 anymore. He shed a lot of that weight, so he's not squatting anymore. I guarantee you. And if he is, he's going light. When I say going light, he's probably. I would say Tim Ryan, probably once upon a time squatted like maybe 600, 700. Now he probably squats more like 300.
Honestly, imagine that as a breakaway video for the Krueg channel.
Hey, Ryan.
I wonder if I get. Oh, I know Hutch is in the green room. I hear the whispering tones. But I think if I get back and I've been starting to hit the weights again, I think in 3 weeks, maybe a month, I think I could outbench Kapler. I mean, not Kapler, Tim Ryan.
Oh, Tim Ryan. Give me a break. Give me a break. You talk about odds. I'll give you $1,000 if you can bench Tim Ryan.
No. You squat. I mean, you can't. No, just don't pick on. Compete with me. Don't compete with Tim.
I mean, what do you think Tim's weighing these days?
Yeah, but Tim's still a beast.
What is he, like 6'4"? Well, Ryan's 6'5".
Yeah, he's like Tim's like 6'4", about 290. He played at 295. I bet you his walk around weight's about 260. But he's pretty lean. But I mean, still, I mean, he, come on. Once the one thing, once you get that old man strength, that stays with you. So even if he's lost some weight, he probably can still throw the bars around.
Yeah, he'd take you. And I don't want Joe. MF says $4.99. Thoughts on Astros bench coach Joe Espada. Is he related to Tyro Estrada? Espada.
It's Espada versus Estrada.
Yeah, wasn't he a front runner for the? Yeah, he's another Kapler probably. He's another.
What is that? Like all Italian people are the same? Is that what you're saying? Espada is the same as Estrada.
Espada's not Italian, is it?
No, but I'm just saying. Maybe Espada might be Italian. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. I thought
Coccimilgio.
Dan, I think you may actually like Espada.
Really? Oh, look! Yeah, he's got a nice head, but it's Kapler's bald too.
That's another good looking head. Astros bench coach Joe Espada was highly thought of, and he's probably on the short list. I don't know if he was a front runner for the job, but the Astros. Look at the Astros right now. They might be the best team. They may be the best team in the American League. Steve says, Dan, you're delusional, but I love you. What do you think of that, Danny?
Delusional.
Steve is one of our newest members.
I know. What am I delusional about? What I need some specifics. Come on. Is it my diet or what is it?
Probably your points.
My points are right on target. Go back to Mercedes. He says, I got it down. I'm right.
Rebel 444. Jay Hutch needs the link.
He's in the green room.
Look at that.
So much before you get to that, I think did we get this other $2 donation by Steve Roke? Did we already do that one?
Steve, no. She says that's hot. Anyway,
Cap or
Kapler or Shanahan, who's gone first?
Oh, definitely Kapler. Definitely Kapler. 100%. Who's chasing Shanny out? Come on. Seriously. I mean, I like Shanahan.
I
think Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the league.
Although, you know what? If Trey Lance
500, but
here, I could see.
No, Shanahan's great.
I mean, if you could do a draft of any coach in the entire league right now that you'd want for the next 5 years, I would take him number one.
Oh, yeah, Shanahan or
you would take him number one?
Yeah.
Some people might take McVay. Some would take Belichick. Some would take Andy Reid.
Belichick's too old. Andy Reid's too old. And McVay. I'm not a Super Bowl.
Yeah. McVay's once those guys.
McVay's a terrific young coach. Come on.
Yeah, he is. He is a good coach.
He's fine.
It's nice when you have a who's going to spend, unlike Prague, who's holding the.
So what's up, Jay?
What's up, Jay Hutch?
Not much, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. What kind of room are you in tonight? You in a different room? I don't see the sports stuff behind you there. Different angle?
No, I'm just upstairs.
Upstairs? Did you get thrown out of the man room? Did you get thrown out of your man room?
Yeah. Are you not next door? I mean,
are you in a different house? Has late nights did the wife throw you out?
No.
Okay.
Danny, what if the wife had thrown him out? You gonna pick that scab on the middle of the show?
I would feel bad, man.
Yeah, you would feel bad. You're a bad person for even going down that road.
Yeah, I'm just having a little fun. I know Jay Hutch is a good man.
If you feel Dan's a bad person in the chat, reach out and express it.
I know Jay Hutch is a good man, and he's running that house. And he's got to be running that house because there's no way his wife would be letting him stay in there and being up at 1:15 in the morning talking to three clowns.
That was good time there. That was good time zone knowledge.
Look at Danny trying to backtrack. Jay Hutch, let me read MF's 1999 because
don't put that comment up. Get rid of it.
I'm not going to put it up, but it's been said.
He says, MF says, can I get on the show and talk some sports with you guys? Would love to have some New York style, mild and spicy Italian sausages with you guys and talk Niners and Giants. Heck yeah, come on over. It'll be a sausage fest.
Wait,
But yes, MF, call in. But we can only take one call at a time. So let's get going with Jay Hutch, and then once Jay Hutch drops off the line, MF, if you want to jump in, feel free. We'll throw out the number again, and we can talk sausage. Well, together we'll talk sausage. We're not
We
afraid.
grew up with a Sunday dinner.
There you go. So Jay Hutch, what's going on, my friend? Oh, look at that. Chorizo in the house.
Little chorizo in the house.
Woo!
MF just ball.
I love some. Hey, who doesn't love chorizo and eggs?
Oh,
Chorizo and eggs, the Southwest, whatever the Southwest like breakfast burrito is with the chorizo and the eggs, maybe some potatoes in there.
Green chili, perhaps.
Ooh-wee.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh wait! Oh, Mark Graves says mute Danny.
I'm way ahead of you. Before I went to get the sausages, I made sure.
Oh, you muted Danny. All right. Look how much better the show is when Danny's muted. Have you noticed that?
Wait. So has Jay Hutch gotten to? I think I might have a drum roll sound effect.
Drum roll.
For the top 3 big mistakes.
DJ Venus says sausage is an expression. No, nothing makes me happier than sausage.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner.
There we go.
All right, the top 3.
This is Jay. No, what is it again? Jay Hutch. What is his top 3 of what?
Top 3 Farhan mistakes.
Okay, top 3. Number 3.
Oh no, Dan has Krueg show chat privileges.
What's that?
3.
Krueg show chat privileges. Now that we've upgraded him.
I think number 3 is the fact that he thought he had to get rid of Bochy, and he went with Kapler because, 4 years in the future, I mean, you just look at how he's doing right now. He has no feel. He has no instinct. He has no gut feeling because he's been told what to do for 4 years. And, he had some success in Philly, not really, but it's not working out. It's just not working out at all. I think the second biggest mistake was, why didn't we bring back Dusty?
Wait. Mistake number 2 is
Number 2.
Dusty Baker. Why not go get someone who has a gut feeling, who has an instinct, someone who's going to push the envelope, someone who's going to say, Farhan, why don't we do this? Give good explanations instead of a yes man like Kepler. I think Bochy's last couple seasons didn't go well because of the thank you contracts from the World Series and a bunch of bad contracts and bad things, and that's why Bear went with Farhan in the first place. But it's been 4 years of this, and we've definitely seen some growth. But in terms of the manager standpoint, I think Posey and Bochy ran the team for who knows how long. And when Bochy and Posey were gone, it is tanked so bad. Like, just like you guys were saying with the why we
Danny, can you silence your phone, please? And this isn't church. Could you please, silence that phone? Thank you.
That wasn't my phone.
I just don't guys,
Ride, that's right, damn it.
Like, you went out
number one.
Number one?
No, you're muted. You should be muted, but you're
I am not.
Unmuted.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Okay.
Larry. We could have got some controversial Dan.
Let's remute him. We'll remute him because it was a better show with you muted. All right, let's go to number 1.
Number 1 is after 107 wins, they got Jock and did nothing else. They lost Hall of Famer Buster Posey. They lost day in and day out almost every year. Maybe he has another 5 more years, good years. Maybe he's a Hall of Famer too. Not to mention the pitching aspect. Our bullpen has been bad for quite a while. Like, we'll have like one good arm in there, and Doval has definitely rose to that. But I mean, it's been declining last year. What happened? Our bullpen shot 38 saves that year. Like, even if we would have beaten the Cubs, I don't think we would have gotten any further. And it's just like, how do you win 107 wins? And after you lose so much value, so much talent, all you do is go get Jock. I mean, yeah, they got Rodon too, but we needed offense. Offense is how you win games. Why do the Yankees have 27 rings? Because they value offense over everything else. And how
27 rings? What are you going back to the early 1900s, Hutch?
It's been their philosophy for years.
Don't worry, Hutch. I'll mute him.
It's been offense, offense, offense. And how do you win a game? Guess what? If you give up 20 runs, but if you score 21, you win. That's what matters, is winning at the end of the day. It's kind
of weird that like the team.
Man, you really shut up Danny. I mean, when you started talking, it's like he disappeared. It was like you countered his argument. You're like, that's it. And he doesn't have a thing to say. We notice like every time you say something, he's just totally silenced.
Wow. You know what? J Hutch, I love you. Wait. I love J Hutch, and J Hutch is an OG. He always comes with the heat. MF is like, he's coming from the top rope. This
MF may have set the record on donations tonight.
We didn't even cover that one. And then, I want to
read this. Let's read this. I want
to come on the show.
He donated $9.99. He says, I want to go on the show, but you guys have covered a lot. I'm trying to be like Mark Willard and Marty by being optimistic. You know what I love about MF? He will get in Willard and Marty's like Twitter and like just start talking trash to them.
Yeah,
I have to say I admire that.
He yaks up his sausage. Is he the one that
he makes too many references to yakking for sure?
Yeah. But he just dropped another one.
Look at this one. He says, if you guys come down to SoFi for the Niners game, I'll get you guys tickets. I have a lot of connections in LA.
Okay.
What if MF was like some monster mover shaker and we're just dealing him with, we're just casting him aside, reading his stuff, and he's got the ability to make or break us. He could make us kings. We could be living.
I think we should bring him in.
Hey, okay, let's talk about this for 1 second. The show goes fat. We're all rolling huge. I'm driving a Ferrari. Danny's driving a Spire.
I'm driving a Ram TRX, baby.
Rye's got what? Rye's got a electric maybe a Land Rover. A Land Rover that I buy from Ryan Covey in Livermore. Okay,
he's got an electric scooter.
Where are we? Okay, we're all buying houses in LA because we're rolling super fat. The channel has blown up. I mean, every J Hutch in the world is listening to this shit. And we can live anywhere we want in Southern Cal. Where do we live? Ooh. It's a tough one, huh?
Why would you go Laguna Beach?
J Hutch is like, hey, Murfreesboro, bro.
I moved back.
Get out here to Murfreesboro.
Palos Verdes.
Yeah,
Palos
Verdes, like maybe Manhattan Beach.
Palos Verdes,
Laguna Beach. I like Laguna.
Laguna Beach does OC count?
Yeah, I like OC.
That counts. Southern Cal.
I like OC.
I was thinking. So my wife's grandparents live in Palos Verdes, and Redondo Beach, that area right there by Palos Verdes, pimping, seriously nice.
Oh, I'm liking these.
It's a little outlet. Bakersfield? What?
Bakersfield. I used to live in Bakersfield.
Is the armpit of California.
I lived there for Santa Barbara.
You lived in Bakersfield? My brother used to write for the Bakersfield Californian.
The weird thing about Bakersfield.
Look at Steve. Steve says North Hollywood. That's not a good. Steve's BSing us. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Malibu, Redondo. Palos Verdes.
Redondo still nice. I don't know. It used to be, but it is.
It's still nice.
Are you kidding me?
You know what?
Look at Danny.
I haven't been down that way for a while.
Laguna's pretty nice. What about Newport?
Well, so Corona Del Mar is like
La Jolla. I'm going to La Jolla.
High-end San Diego.
I'd love La Jolla.
Oh, I love La Jolla too. Is that where UC San Diego is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
UC's La Jolla. Yeah.
We should do a live stream sometime from my girlfriend's family has a house in Corona Del Mar. It's like Newport Beach is already upscale, but like Corona Del Mar is it's sort of like Montecito to Santa Barbara. Like it's right next to it, but it's so like they bought the house from the assistant GM of the Chargers or something like that. But we should get out there.
Steve says NoHo. Is that North Hollywood?
What if somebody found out that MF was really Scott Boras?
Callie Hat says Inland Empire. Oh, hell no.
No, I live there too. You don't want to believe me.
I'll get you a no air conditioning 2-bedroom, 1 bath in Riverside.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Barry Bonds was from Riverside. I think he might have been. Was he born in Riverside? I believe.
Mark Hope says
Bobby
Redlands.
was. Bobby
Redlands.
Redlands is
Where's that, Rye?
By Loma Linda.
You know,
not too far from Loma Linda.
Yeah, you could make a play. You're like near Big Bear. I'd say
Lomo 2001 says Compton. No, I'm just joking.
Honestly,
I don't think so. I don't think Compton. That would probably not be too good.
I used to live in Ontario and in Chino. My first house was in Rialto, Ronnie Lott's, where he went to high school.
Danny's going to get by a pimp pad Downey or someplace.
Yeah.
Someplace near Anaheim so you can get to Disneyland. Malibu, get a beachside house like Robert De Niro in Heat.
Only problem with those Malibu houses is like,
hey, here we go.
You spend like 15 mil if you want like some decent square footage.
Rebel 444 says, yeah, Torrance is nice. Torrance, really? No, Torrance is right next. That's where Tiger crashed. Torrance is right next to Palos Verdes, but Torrance is not as nice as Palos Verdes. Palos Verdes is nice. Manhattan Beach, like of the beach communities, what would you say is the best beach community in LA?
So I'm judging it by like Manhattan Beach is, for example, where like Ryan Russillo's agent lives and where like Ryan Russillo and Cowherd, they all live in Manhattan Beach. I think that's kind of like the right amount if you want to be somewhat close to the city, but like by the beach.
Do you got a favorite LA beach? Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo?
I don't really love this LA beaches, mostly because like there's too many rules and it's really hard to find parking.
I like Huntington Beach.
We're ignoring Jay Hutch. Let's let Jay Hutch do his thing because it's Jay Hutch. It's 11:28 Pacific.
I got one thing to say to you on your comments about your managers that you said Dusty and somebody else or Boch staying. Problem is, wasn't Farhan wanted guys that would follow his pecking, what he's putting down. He wanted guy. Boch wouldn't last under Farhan's type of playing baseball. He just wouldn't. And neither would Dusty.
I'm saying Farhan made a mistake in getting a yes man.
Well, that's what he wants. He's not going to hire anybody else other than a yes man. That's my point.
Not working.
I mean, that's his thing. He believes in
was last year an aberration, guys, or what? I mean, what do you? How much credit do you give Kapler for 2021?
A ton. I give them both a ton.
Hey, if you're going to give him if you're going to be fair and give Kapler saying he's making the wrong moves and lost the room and all those things, you got to be fair and say he did a great job last year. Everything he did worked. Baseball is a game of, you just can't live off of your past. I mean, his record previously to come in San Francisco was 500. He had one great year. He's 500 again this year. So 3 out of his 4 years is 500. That's more of his card. That's the back of his card.
Not only that, I mean, takeaway last year, look at those teams. They were woefully sub 500 in September, both those years in Philly. So I just think he wears guys down. MF donates another $9.99. He says, I used to stream Larry on KMBR with Gary down here in LA in the 2010s. Loved when they got after it with Dodgers fans. Oh, yeah. Gary loved getting after it. MF donates another $1.99. This is easily, he's got to be setting the record here. He
says, my brother, MF? What's your
my brother lives in Newport Beach.
Wow.
And then somebody said, Anonymous says, Newport's way south, but nice. Redondo's kind of transient.
Newport's a great place. I went camping.
La Jolla has nothing in El Cajon. No, come on. La Jolla is better than El Cajon. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. El Cajon's east. El Cajon's like inland.
You know what's really weird is when I was living in Silver Lake, it was like, it's like, it's right next to, like somebody said, Echo Park. I don't know if they're joking. There's actually Echo Park's kind of nice now.
That's by Dodger Stadium, right?
Yeah. So I was
right by North LA on the 5.
Yeah, I was right by Dodger Stadium. In Silver Lake, it's weird because like it's a lot of hipsters. It's got a little bit of a Berkeley vibe. But then also at one point, when I first got the job at the Adam Carolla show, as a supplemental income, I said, screw it. There was somebody posted a flyer about Christmas tree being like a Christmas tree guy, or what do you call that? A tree salesman? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so I went to like in the middle of Silver Lake, which I didn't realize there was that much wealth in Silver Lake, bizarrely. And like I sold a Christmas tree to Ed Helms. I sold a Christmas tree to Emily Ratajkowski or whatever, that like smoking hot famous model chick. Not sure if you know who that is.
Was it a tough sell? Was it a tough sell? Did you ever get a good tip out of that?
I'll tell you what, it was a sweaty sell because it was like first of all, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like putting
my son worked at the Christmas tree lot last year. What's a good tip? He used to get like $20 a tree.
Yeah, like $20 is good. $20
are these trees that are pre-cut, or did you have to cut them down?
We had to cut them down. It was good hardy work, but Emily,
you got to get a tip for cutting the tree down.
The stressful thing with Emily Ratajkowski, however, was she had one of the Teslas with the butterfly doors. So like it was a whole thing, and of course I'm like I'm dead scared to like fuck up their car or like do anything wrong around them. And oh God.
MF donates another $1.99. My other brother lives in Hermosa Beach.
Yeah, I know where Hermosa Beach is. Yeah.
Nice. Steve Roach says Farhan sold San Francisco a bill of goods. He donates $2. Thank you there for that, Steve.
Hey, let's bring MF on. Does MF want to come on? He said he'd like to come on. I'd love to meet him. I mean, my goodness.
The way you've treated Jay Hutch so far is just downright rude. I mean,
we've got Jay Hutch. Jay Hutch. I'm having a nice
Hutch.
Conversation with Jay
No, you're
Hutch.
not having a nice conversation. When was the last time you asked Jay Hutch how he's doing? When was the last time you inquired about Jay Hutch and his family?
Well, what about you?
You're going to be muted. All right, you're muted. Jay Hutch, how are you? How are you? Let's really get to know one another. Let's really. I've muted Danny.
I got it.
I could actually put Danny back in the green room. Look how much nicer the screen looks now. We don't even have to think about Danny. He's back there. We know he's back there. Oh, look at that. He came back in, but I removed him again. But he has the power to jump back in, and I can remove him again. And we can keep doing this till the cows come home. All right, Jay Hutch, what's going on with you, bro? How you been?
I had
good to see you, by the way. So refreshing to have more time with you without Danny just making his let's trade for Juan Soto. Let's trade for Mike Trout.
Wait. I got to do something for the chat.
Complete chicken ass.
I got to do something for the chat and for Jay Hutch later when you sign off here. Sean Proctor. I won't swear. She is so effing fine. Emily from Blurred Lines video. If you want to see something that's pretty neat, search the Blurred Lines video on YouTube. I don't know how it's allowed on YouTube, but you'll see some things that are very cool. So I'm just going to leave it there.
Now I'm feeling really old when people are calling up saying this girl's fine. I mean, it's seriously. I mean, now it's like, hey, hi, Susie. Nice to meet your dad. Or hi, Mr. Smith. Can I speak to Susie? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's Larry.
Oh,
thank you.
Larry.
Hey, Susie. Larry's on the line. Remember that? Hey, by the way, what we just reenacted, kids, that was when in the old days, you actually had to have game. You couldn't just text her and say, I'll meet you out front. Don't tell anybody. It's like you actually had to talk to her dad. Yeah, that's right. You had to talk to the girl's dad. And you had to actually come across as like not a degenerate. And then he didn't have to hand her the phone. Like he may have handed her the phone, but you had to like win him over. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Smith? Good to see you. Or good to talk to you, sir. Yeah, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I don't think I've had the pleasure of talking to you before. Is your daughter around? It's Larry Krueger. I'd love to talk to her. Sure, Larry. Let me see if she's around. I always got through Dad. I mean, I was like Nick Bosa. Woo! Swim technique, Dad, see it. Gone. Right there. And then right before he would get off, I'd drop a little Eddie Haskell. Hey, Mr. Smith, it was really a pleasure meeting you, sir. Have a great night. Oh, thank you, Larry. Larry, guy's a really nice guy. And then, then as soon as the girl's on the phone, God, finally got by that guy, huh? That was, that was hell. Then all of a sudden you had to have game. So you had to have game. Now it's like, hey, I'll text you my coordinates and just meet me. I mean, come on.
It's Grubhub delivered.
There's a comment I wanted to get to. Sean Proctor or Steve wrote did $1.99. Then he follows up, says, MF, I'm broke. How tall are you, punk?
All right, Dan. Once again, Jay Hutch, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, how you doing, Jay? Jay, by the way, how's the fam?
Oh, the fam's fine. Do
you have any children?
No.
Mercedes BMW Porsche.
Hello, sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure to kiss your ass yet. Did I ever tell you? Wait, can I tell you? I went to my first boy-girl party. It was the 6th grade. And all of a sudden, this dad walks into the room. And he's like, all right, which of you guys has been in my booze? And I'm like, oh, my God. I was in the 6th grade.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, sir, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Looking back at it, I should have said it was Dan Coccimilgio. But yeah, somebody got into this girl's dad's booze. We were in the 6th grade.
6th grade. Where were you? Where'd you grow up in, Larry? Would you?
San Francisco. San Francisco.
Man.
My dad. Too.
What's that?
My dad grew up in the city also.
There you go.
Is he stealing liquor?
So MF's he's about to go to sleep.
Yeah, what time is it there, MF?
He's in LA, right?
Yeah.
No, he's in Murfreesboro.
No, that's Jay Hutch.
You said MF.
Oh no, we're talking to Jay Hutch. Okay,
don't worry about MF. MF's
right,
going to sleep.
That's it.
He donated.
I don't care. We're talking to Jay Hutch.
1:38 a.m.
I'll read the damn texts. Complete.
Hey,
guy brings his complete crap, and all of a sudden he thinks he's running the show. Guy has one day we let Danny do the show by himself, and he gets a huge head. Now he starts running the chat and bringing his chicken ass, and just sickening what you've done to Jay Hutch. Jay Hutch, so it's almost 1:45.
Yeah.
Wow, bro. What time do you got to get up in the morning?
7.
7.
Oh,
wow.
Man, you're grinding.
So, dude, you're grinding. Well, hey, so tell us what we've been talking about tonight that kind of struck you, and give us your quick thought on it.
I mean, they just
now that we've shut up Danny.
I think we need more offense.
Awful.
Pitching is not getting it done. Pitching is declined. And last year, we don't have reliable arms at all, and it's tough to get because you can have pitching, and then the next day someone needs Tommy John. They're out for a long time. There can be like injuries for position players. Last a long time, but you could get them back in 6 months. But Tommy John or all these arm problems, or someone with a back, God forbid, a pitcher has a back problem.
What do you do with Rodon now? Do you take a chance that he's healthy? Do you trade him before he gets hurt? He's had a career full with injuries, and they got another year on the contract. And you could make an argument that Rodon might be the number one hired gun out there. You might be able to get somebody significant if you moved him.
And Jock might be too.
We know what the Giants' intentions are. I think it's all about that. What are they thinking? Are they thinking buy? Are they actually going to buy? Are they actually going to trade for Juan Soto? Are they actually going to try to go get some star power instead of these no-name nobodies from AA and AAA, which have not been working all year? And the reason why 107 wins worked last year is because most of our vets had a career year. Most of them were healthy most of the time. It's not working this year, and the platoon isn't working because those vets aren't a consistency in the lineup. So we have to get consistency, and we do not have that.
Yeah, it's a frustrating team because it's not like you can say, well, they need this. They need everything. They need a deeper rotation. They need a better pen. They need 2 or 3 hitters in their lineup. It's like I understand that with their proximity to that final playoff spot, but I don't think they're going to outrun the Cardinals, and I don't think they're going to outrun the Phillies. And so I think I'd rather divest myself of a couple guys, and maybe like Rodon and maybe a couple others, and then you know what? If you want to compete for Rodon again in the offseason, do it. But I think I would flip him.
Let's do this. Is a good one for a good final send off for Jay Hutch. Jay Hutch, I want, because this will help us understand, like, because it is like, oh, we're kind of close to the wild card, but J Hutch, give me your grades for these 5 things for this team. What would you get? What letter grade would you give their starting pitching?
Oh God. Are we just talking about Rodon and Webb or everyone?
No,
else?
the whole rotation.
Whole rotation.
Man.
I'm thinking maybe like B-.
I'd give
I
them
would-
a B plus.
I'd say C plus.
Yeah, I was gonna say C plus, and the only reason why it's a C plus is because of Rodon and Webb. If those were, I'd call it almost.
You know what?
So
You know
what would
why I
you-
give it
what
a
would you-
B plus?
Yeah.
Because they have the highest rate of ground balls in baseball.
Well, they're
and
FIP gods.
what's
If they
that?
They're
clear
FIP,
them,
FIP gods.
doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I mean they are doing their job. The pitchers, it's the defense that's killing them.
Sure.
Okay, well, what would we give? Okay, let's bump them up. All right,
They have the lowest. They've given up the lowest home runs. Their starting staff in baseball. They're
Okay,
doing what
relief
they're-
pitching can't be more than a C, right?
no.
I'd give it honestly, I'd give relief pitching a D.
Yeah.
D plus or C minus. I'm
The
thinking.
batting is the most ridiculous thing because they're top 5 in runs scored, but they're totally anemic.
I think it's a C plus because if it was a B minus, that would say at least there's some consistency in there, but there's not enough.
I mean, every night you tune in, there's potential for no hit. I can't the number of times in the last 3 or 4 weeks that you've tuned into a Giants game and they've had 0 or 1 run in the 6th. I mean, they've gotten some runs
0
late.
hits through 5. It's happened.
They
like
don't
4
score.
times.
They don't score.
Can we all
Reminds me
agree
of one of my old college roommates never scored.
Can we all agree that fielding's just an F? We don't even have to
F
talk
and
about it.
F. The
F
last
minus.
2 are Fs.
Speed.
The fielding's terrible. And the speed is non-existent.
Yeah.
All right, so let's calculate this GPA.
That looks like Larry Krueger's college transcript right there. I really loved that one class, and I hated the teacher. D plus. I really tried hard, but it was hard. I got a C plus. Oh, I stopped going to those 2 classes. Sorry, Dad.
Ryan,
I'm calculating the GPA of this team right now.
While you're doing that, MF donates $4.99. He says, "I live in north of LA on the 805. Not a bad drive from LA. I'm flying up for Niners Bucks this season to see Tom."
Oh, so that's cool. See, Tom.
Wait a second. He calls Brady Tom.
I mean, this might be Boris.
It's Boris.
I mean,
Tell him.
Danny doesn't even call Buster. He doesn't even call Faith.
And
But
then
this guy's
he
calling
also,
Tom Brady Tom.
He also donated another $4.99. Are we over 100? We got to be over 100 for the night.
Oh, it's well over 100. MF says $4.99. I'm obsessed with Tim Ryan as the announcer for the Niners. He got me so fired up listening to the Packers game on KMBR. You know what I loved is the guy who during the game like leaned into Tim's booth and like talked trash, and he's like, shut up or something. I forget what he was. It's like right in the middle of the broadcast, he told some guy to shut up. I mean, that's just he's a beautiful human being. Sean Proctor. Why does that name sound so familiar? Sean, why do I know your name? Do we know each other? That's the question. But he donated $1.99 just for S and giggles, just no reason. Mark Graves says Larry's pinch hitting for Dan. Oh, we got another one here from MF. He says, "I'm about to go to sleep. I'll come on soon.
We did that one.
The smell training camp around the corner soothes my calming heart. Giants give me bad dreams."
This is great, Mark Hope. Put that one up there. Did you put that one up there, Mark Hope?
All right. So we've calculated their GPA.
Did MF steal his mom's credit card? I'll say this, guys. We've been doing this a while. Tonight was the most number of donations we've ever gotten in the show.
We got to have like 40 tonight.
For sure.
As far as just pure number of, we got another one down here. MF, I'm upset. Oh no, we already got that. We already read that one.
So you know what? I just did this as a fun little thing, just to kind of get a.
Sean Proctor says, "No, we don't know each other, but we need to get together, Larry." Sean, glad you're in the chat.
I agree, Sean.
I recognize that name. If you ever see me at a game, stop by, say hello. I'll buy you a beer. We'll throw one back. And when Dan's not around, we'll start ripping Dan.
Yeah, wait, Larry. Unfortunately, I think I know why.
That's my role here. I know my role.
Dan, did you also feel like you might have recognized the name Sean Proctor?
Sounds like a ball player.
Does it sound familiar?
Wasn't
A little
Scott
bit. Yeah.
Well, I'm
There was a
assuming
Scott Proctor, wasn't there?
Well, I think
Was
it
that-
perhaps has it could have anything to do with the proctologist.
Dr. Sticky Finger. You got the whole fist up there, Doc?
Oh, yeah, that's a real gamble.
From Fletch.
So what do we think about that? Those are just 5 pretty key things, I would say. Starting pitching, relief pitching, batting, fielding, speed. We got a 1.02 GPA for that.
But wait a second. Wasn't relief pitching an AP course? Did you calculate? I'm pretty sure relief pitching was an AP course.
Yeah, Rebel 4444 says, can we give grades to Farhan? Contracts.
Well, I mean, Farhan's contract for Jock Peterson, I give him an A. Farhan's contract for Carlos Rodon, I'd give him an A-.
Oh, I give him
Farhan's
an A plus. I give him an A plus. You know why?
Why?
Because Rodon, if he pitches good, but not great, let's say he pitches great and everything else is going well, you got a shot at maybe a pennant, right? You know, National League Championship or something, World Series, if everything else is falling into place. If he pitches poorly, you got him for one more year, and then he's done. Maybe next year he bounces back. If he pitches really good and your team's not in it, you can get a great prospect. So that's a win-win-win.
I like it, but I gotta see. I gotta see them actually do this before I'm gonna credit them for. Well, I need to see them divest themselves of a guy who's got a short-term contract, get a top prospect before I'm gonna pat them on the back for the flexibility.
I will give it a C minus.
How about Listella's 3-year, $18 million? That's a bad deal. How about DeSclafani's 3-year, $30 million deal? That's a bad deal.
He's still got 2 years.
He's hurt.
He could bounce back.
Brandon Drury.
He could bounce back. Here's what I would say about Farhan. I give him an A plus right now. But if Rodon
we
is
just
on the
gave
team,
the team a 1.02 GPA, and you're giving the GM, the architect, an A plus
on Rodon's contract.
Oh.
If Rodon though is with the club next week after the trade deadline, and the Giants don't make the playoffs,
got to put him
I will give Farhan like a C minus, because he didn't trade him when he should have, because he's walking at the end of this year. So he's got to make that call within this week, whether he trades him or keeps him. And I would say the only way you keep Rodon on this team is if you add a Laureano, add a Brandon Drury, add a couple of lefties in the bullpen, and beef up this team for a run. Otherwise, forget it. Sell. Get rid of not just Rodon, but get rid of the other guys.
What about the 1-year, $6 million deal for Boyd?
That's not a bad deal. You could, $6 million. They got money
He
to
hasn't
spend.
pitched.
Yeah, but that's not Farhan's fault. I mean, he had a reoccurrence. He had some kind of flare up with his elbow. But if he didn't, imagine he'd be in the rotation right now.
Well, first of all, fault. I mean, I don't know what fault. I don't even know what you're talking about with fault. He's the GM. He signed it. He's the guy who's accountable for that $6 million. And Boyd hasn't pitched an inning. So as far as fault, yeah, it is his fault. His job is to decide who's going to be healthy and who's not going to be healthy. MF donates $4.99. Says Tim Kawakami had a great podcast with Kyle Shanahan today. I definitely recommend it, and it makes me think Jimmy will be gone soon.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, Shanahan has maintained that Jimmy's going to be traded. So, we talked about this with Grant Cohn today on his show, on his channel. I personally think that that Shanahan, the 49ers will be trading Garoppolo. Why? Because Shanahan has insisted so many times that that's what's going to happen. I don't think Shanahan is going down that road all to try to bluff for a trade. I think that they must know they have some trade out there that when the day's right and Jimmy's, whether that team is satisfied, that's the right day to make the trade. I got to think that they've already agreed to a deal for Jimmy, and that it's just a matter of what day do they want to make that deal, right? I mean, do you think that's crazy? Do you think they're still fighting for the deal, or do you think they have a deal worked out? Because I think they have a deal worked out.
Yeah,
tough to say.
I think it's like the Baker Mayfield thing. I think that they have a deal worked out, and at this point, it's just playing chicken.
Could be waiting on the Deshaun Watson decision too. That could be a factor. So.
That's a good point, Jay, because if Watson only gets suspended 8 games, Cleveland's not going to go for Garoppolo at all. But if it's a full season, they may be bluffing and say they're not interested in Jimmy right now, but trying to drive the value down. But if all of a sudden, Watson, but it sounds like Cleveland is expecting an 8-game suspension from what I'm hearing.
Well, and before we get to this comment by Sean Proctor, Larry, we never really talked about this, but Vish, I was kind of surprised. Vish was pretty adamant that when he was on the show, he was pretty adamant that the Browns don't make any sense because why would the Browns, let's say it's 8 games, why would they trade for Jimmy when they have Brissett, and what's that going to make the difference of 1 or 2 games? But the Browns
are still the betting favorite for Garoppolo. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
that's always hard to decipher.
If you're the Browns, your freaking team is stacked. You're ready to win a Super Bowl. I think you make the deal. You make the deal, bring in Jimmy. If it's
that's what I said 2 months ago. I believe that's where he's going to end up. That's where I kind of like to see him go there. I really would. I'd like to see him be successful too.
Yeah.
Jay Hutch,
Amari Cooper.
What do you think, Jay?
Would the Browns have to pay his contract for this year, the $27 million?
They're the only team in pro football that has the ability right now, enough room under the cap to actually take on that deal without renegotiating it.
Plus, if Watson gets suspended for the full year, his contract gets moved to next year, and it doesn't go against their cap this year.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
The guy that I keep reading that the Browns want to trade is Kareem Hunt. Now, that one is bizarre to me because they do have Nick Chubb, and they did draft the Cincinnati running back Ford. So that makes a little bit of sense. And Kareem's a free agent at the end of the year. But I'll tell you right now, man, I'd take Kareem Hunt in a second for Jimmy Garoppolo. I know the Niners are loaded in the backfield, but what if it was like Jimmy and Sermon for Hunt or something like that? I would take Kareem Hunt if I were the Niners. I really would. Yeah. I like Kareem. I'm a Kareem Hunt fan.
Maybe not the best looked at Kareem Hunt and Deshaun Watson back there.
Larry, you've talked about this. We can't, if we're going to trade Jimmy, don't trade it for a pick. Trade it for a player. Trade it for a player that's going to help the team now. I think
because you also you got Trent Williams, you got a bunch of veterans there, and it's like they're gonna. I think they want. You didn't take that money and use his money to replenish your roster, so don't take future picks. Invest in the roster this year. And I know some people would say, oh, why would you do that? Trey's a rookie, essentially. I know, but I think Trey's going to play a whole lot better. That was the other thing that we haven't talked about, guys. We probably should. Did you see that quote from an NFC West coach saying that it would be like Christmas if the 49ers traded Jimmy G and went with Trey Lance? Did you guys see that?
Who do you think that was, McVay?
I think it was a Ram person because the Niners have, Jimmy has owned the Rams.
Yeah.
But I also think that is this criticism that never ends about Trey Lance is really disturbing. And it's also kind of like, where's this coming from? It would be crazy if you had some definitive, he's awesome take, but it's even crazier to have a definitive, he sucks take.
There's a lot of East Coast bias in that.
Well, it's also it's a lot of I think what it is it's a lot of pushback. It's kind of like the LeBron phenomenon where like everyone started hating on Curry because they were LeBron fans, and so all of a sudden Curry fans became super freaking annoying because they got it so much. So I feel like all of these guys, I won't name any, but there's so many people out there that have just ripped on Jimmy as if he shouldn't even be in the league. And are like, why don't you play Trey Lance now? You're stupid if you don't play Trey Lance now. I think that created a straw man for then people to be like, okay, really, or to kind of hate on Trey.
Jay Hutch, when we put this one up there, Mark Hope says, Hutch, go to sleep, big man. We're going to let you go, bro, because you do have to get up early in the morning. And Danny doesn't give a shit about that. But Ryan, I care a lot about you.
I care, Hutch. I'm your guy, man. I talk about Hutch more than anybody in this room. Don't you forget that, Jay.
More than Buster and more than Faith.
I bring up Jay all the time in the show.
Hey,
what's Jay doing?
Danny doesn't give two shits about you, but Ryan and I actually care, and we know you got to get up in the morning. Danny hasn't gotten up for a job in a long time, so he can't relate. But I'm just joking. We're all big fans. Hey man, good to see you. Thanks for being in the chat. We love you, brother, and we'll be here for you throughout the year and jump in it from time to time. We'd love to see your face and wrap some sports with you, even if you got to be kind of in whispering tones.
Sure.
All right, brother. You got one last thought on the way out the door?
Yeah. Here, if you got
Hey, you know what, Jay? Before I hate to interrupt, but can you give me when I say Larry, you say Krueger really loud? Is your wife awake still?
No, he can't do that, Danny. His wife is right there.
No,
Dan's so insensitive.
A whispering would be good though too.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to whisper it, I guess you could whisper it too. Okay, go ahead, Danny. Try it.
Larry Krueger. Larry Krueger. Larry.
All right, brother. On that note, we'll say goodbye. Jay Hutch, that actually was kind of funny. And Mark Hope saying, Hutch, go to sleep, big man. All right, couple more here. Sean Proctor donates $4.99. He said, how much does Rodon really bring as a rental? Farhan needs to trade anyone with value, but not sure he has the stones to do it. The front office is acting so cheap. Well, I will say this, Sean. And I brought this up to the fellows last night. The Cubbies traded Javi Baez to the Mets last year. He was a pure rental. He was a free agent weeks later. They got Pete Crow Armstrong, who was the Mets' #1 draft choice. Pete Crow Armstrong started in center field in the Futures game, and they said he could be up in September.
He's hitting like 30.
That is the kind of move that the Giants need to make for Rodon. They need to trade him. If they're going to trade him, they need to trade him to a team for a hot prospect who's going to be ready next year. Not a hot prospect in A-ball, a hot prospect that is going to be ready next year. And now it's about targeting a team that has that kind of prospect. But we saw it done last year with Javi Baez, and I think Rodon might have greater value than Baez. So there's that.
Pitching's always important, and the Yankees are going to want pitching. Seattle's going to want pitching. Tampa. I mean, all those teams that are going for it all. I mean, heck, the Dodgers would want pitching. I mean, would Farhan's talked about in the past trading. Who do you want from the Dodgers?
Do you think the Dodgers are going to trade you top prospects?
They just unloaded their top two. I love this. 444.
They keep replenishing them.
That would be pretty sweet.
MF donates $4.99. He says, "Why couldn't the Niners bring back DJ Jones? It rattled my Casbah, and I really love the player.
Rattled my kielbasa is what I'm hoping that meant."
I think the reason the 49ers didn't bring back DJ
because Denver
Jones
paid him. Denver paid him too much cash.
Right. It was the money. And I really think, I mean, did you hear the comments the other day from Mike McGlinchey talking about Kinlaw and is a beast? And that
it's Kinlaw's time for sure. They invested a pick in Kinlaw's time for him to do it, but they just drew the line on DJ, and I think it was stupid. I really do. I love the Niners. I think Lynch is a really solid GM, but I think it's short-sighted to say goodbye to somebody who gave you what DJ gave you. He shut down the A gaps. He put a little heat on the quarterback. He made that incredible play on the fake punt last year to snuff that out. He's a smart player. He's a leader. He's a great guy. And but you know what, Denver, you can't pay everybody. It's as simple as that. Denver threw him a lot of money. So one of the reasons I kind of like Denver this year is that Denver has improved quite a bit. So MF donates another $4.99. Why are there so many Niner beat writers? It's hard to follow all of them, and they all say the same stuff. Matt Barrows is the best. I kind of agree with the Matt Barrows is the best. I do agree with that. I think Barrows is really, really good. I really do. And Barrows will be on the channel this year.
Yeah,
he does
Barrows
stuff with
good.
The Athletic. Yeah, he's good. He's Barrows, funny. Yeah. He's really, really smart.
Switching to wife,
Well, yeah, exactly. Somebody says, Sean Parker says, Kinlaw's made of glass. His battle with Grant Cohn was funny, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it was scary, actually. But yeah, Kinlaw's in a huge moment in his career right now, right? It's go time for him. And why are there so many Niner beat writers? I don't know. There's a lot of publications, that's for sure.
All right, roll commercials.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's pay our sponsors right here. We'll be back with some final thoughts on The Krueg Show.
Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, make sure you use telmetrics.co, TELMETRIX.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com. Often imitated, never equaled.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
right, welcome back to the Krueg Show. Final moments here before we call it a night. What are you chomping on there, Danny? What do you got there? Paleo bars. Look at you. That's a healthy snack. That is a healthy snack.
Yeah. And then I'll top it off after I finish this with complete.
Are you really gonna eat that?
No, no way. No, like I say, that is truly emergency food. It really is.
Oh, what else? MF has weighed in a couple times here. He says, I'm not a fan of Pavlovich. Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't move the needle for me either way. Sean Proctor. Yeah, MF Pavs is such a homer. All right. Well, there you go. We got two people. Romo 2001. Pasquale gives the stank eye to Dan's packaged chicken ass. MF says, I agree. Oh, my goodness.
I was looking on.
You guys are still on. Nice. I'm in Idaho visiting a friend and can only imagine the kind of ripping that went on tonight.
Where's that
Carlo.
Idaho. Where are you at in Idaho, Carlo?
Yeah, we're in Idaho, Carlo.
I used to live up there.
Did you?
Yeah.
For
a little while. I built a cabin up in a rural area.
By Gonzaga? Isn't Gonzaga? Where's Gonzaga? Spokane. Isn't Spokane near Idaho?
I was 3 hours from Spokane. I used to drive up to Spokane to fly down to Phoenix a lot.
Danny's anonymous says, is it healthy? It's 12:06 a.m. then bed. That's a lot of eating.
Yeah, I haven't eaten since I ate before the game started, the Giants game. I had a salad.
Nice. Rebel 444 says, when's Larry going back on 95.7 the game? I'll be on this week on Thursday morning. We'll be down at 49er camp. I think I'll be on with Dan Dibley Thursday morning, or it might be Mark Willard. I forget. I'll be on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. in that slot. I think it's with Willard, but it might be with Dibley. So that's coming up on Thursday. And then next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'll be on from noon to 3 with Guru. And I'm looking forward to that. I really enjoy Guru. I think he's fun. And I've never done a show with him. So next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be doing the shows with Guru. And I believe the following week, the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after that, I'll be doing a show with Guru as well. So
you still live in McCall. I spent the weekend in McCall. Yeah, McCall's really nice.
444.
McCall.
And I used to live there. Oh, sorry.
McCall?
Oh, yeah, I did. McCall's a nice place. It's a lot of movie stars go there.
Where is McCall? I've never heard of McCall.
Otis B says Guru is great. Guru is really good. He's really funny.
Idaho this time of year is just gorgeous.
Oh, Dan, you really have lived a lot of places.
I have. I've lived in
Matthew Mears, guys, says, Larry, if you could take some videos of the 49er practices, that would be cool. That's a good idea. We got to try that. Yes, Matthew
Mears. If you're a member, you'll get a lot of those behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're gonna be producing a lot of videos starting Wednesday. In fact, tomorrow we will kind of be hammering out exactly what we'll be doing, and on Wednesday we hit the ground running. So I'm excited. Rye's excited. We're gonna produce a lot of great content, man. A lot of great Niner content.
If you're on with Willard,
what is that?
It's for the camera.
And then look at that.
Transform into a tripod.
What were you gonna say, Danny?
I said, if you're on with Willard Thursday, just kind of bring up that Aaron Judge trade you proposed. For
He didn't like that.
I want to hear what you have to say.
It was Aaron. He didn't want to make the trade. I did want to make the trade. It was Aaron Judge to the Giants for Yaz, Will Wilson, Sean Jelly, and Elliot Ramos. Could you imagine?
Oh gosh.
Could you imagine saying you don't want that trade because you want to keep those prospects?
That's insane. And you know what? Somebody else said, Sean Proctor said, I'm going to become a member. And you know what? Somebody earlier in the chat said, was asking how to become a member. And we were saying, we weren't really sure. Think there is a way on iOS. Turns out, if you have an iPhone, on iOS, you actually can't do it within the app. So what you have to
be on the computer, it's be on a laptop, or
either you have to be on the laptop, or the workaround is you open up the YouTube in your Safari or Google Chrome, whatever browser you use, and then you go to that thing that you go to, like you click the the three dots or the settings or whatever, and there's a button to request desktop site, and if you click that, it takes you to the desktop site. There's a quick button that just says. So
look at Graves. He's got power over me. He's just throwing shade at me.
So Dan has lived in many places, running from clients who got hosed. That ain't right. That ain't right,
Graves. I'm gonna have to send you out of the room for 3 nights.
Rebel 4444 says Willard wants Judge now that's all he was saying today. Please roast Willard. I do find that funny because now he's arguing for trading for or signing Aaron Judge, but he didn't want to make that trade a couple years ago. But you know what? You know, come on, these sports talk things. Everybody's got their opinions. You know, we all try to be consistent. Mark's one of the very, very best who does this, in my opinion.
I agree. Mark Graves is one of the best.
You will miss me, Dan, if I send him away for 3 nights.
Do not give Willard grief. Yeah. Mark Graves says you'll miss me, Dan.
I will, Mark. I will. I love it when you mute me and then you have the power to unmute me as I just sit here thinking, why am I on this show?
You're there for the completes. You completes us. All right, let's bolt for the door because I'm on KTVU on the morning show tomorrow morning at 8:45. That means I get the alarm clock probably at 7 tomorrow. It's already 12:15. So, and I got to get my beauty sleep because this is not particularly pretty without some sleep. All right, so what are we playing before we play the close? What are we going with tonight?
You know what? Let's bring back the Monster Slam. It's been long enough.
Yeah, the Giants were hot then. He's going to drive to the hoop again. He kicks it out to Wiggins. Wiggins drives, goes in for a Monster Slam. Oh, they're calling it an offensive foul. No way.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah. We ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at.